as well, but that game they got absolutely curb stomped by an anti-mage pick from none other than Tundra.
Yep.
And they learned their lesson in Bandit this time.
Yeah, we'll see if Paravision have learned from their losses against Tundra specifically. See this so much, so often in the lower bracket, teams kind of end up getting revenge. In fact, I would actually put them as the favorites in this best of 3, but it's going to be a close one. I think it will go the distance, regardless. See the smoke from both sides as the rune battle about to commence. 33 on the high ground playing his Sand King. It feels like he's played 2 heroes at this tournament. Beastmaster, Sand King.
Have we cast him on anything else?
I actually don't know.
I think we might not have seen him on anything else.
It's been impressive, though.
Yeah.
Despite the loss yesterday.
I mean, he's been winning more than losing, so don't change your winning strategy, right?
That is right. So is a split of the bounties, no action yet. And what would you attribute to this? I mean, everybody's been talking about behind the scenes, the farm-centric type of meta that we're seeing at this tournament.
That's a good question. I guess what often happens as you go a little bit later into tournaments is unless the game itself is designed in a fashion that really rewards hyper-aggressive and fast play, teams, as they get more footage during the tournament, will have a better understanding of timings, of when other teams are making moves, of how they ward. And as you study them more closely, perhaps it will lead to a slightly more, let's say, figured out style of play. That said, though, you can still have a game 3 like last night, right? Where one team just got absolutely destroyed in 20 minutes. Yeah. So it's not like every game goes longer, but the average game time does feel like it has gone up. It's also like a symptom of the fact that the teams are just getting closer in skill, right? You've filtered out some of the weaker teams at this point. We're back to the absolute top of the top. So the margins are smaller.
We'll see if Paravision takes a page out of Spirit's book. I mean, they're one of the few teams that has just dominated, at least in one game, 33. Just did not get off to any kind of a start in the 3rd game that they played yesterday. And considering he's playing 2 heroes mostly, feels like, in theory, obviously he's very good, but you should be able to know exactly what he's going to want to do on this hero with this play style. He's off to a pretty damn good start, though. Leads the CS very early on, though.
Yep. He's queuing up a Vanguard here. Probably the logic is if Sand King has a Vanguard, Medusa does nothing to him in lane, so then you can just do whatever you want with Tusk. You like having the eventual Crimson against Split Shot. It's nice, but I don't think necessarily you have to complete it. Just getting the casual Vanguard might be good enough. But yeah, honestly, it's kind of cool to see how we've cast a lot of 33 Sand Kings. He seems to go a new item build literally every game, right? It's almost no repeats full on. I guess one time we've seen him go the exact, what was it? I think phase into Null Talisman Blink or something. But for the most part, we had a Pipe Crimson game. This game, it looks like he wants to go Vanguard Phase Boots. We've seen him rush Bloodstone. So he has a lot of repertoire based on how the early stage goes. Satanic actually in some serious trouble here.
Yeah, he doesn't have a whole lot of mana to speak of. 33 and Soxa teaming up, but slows there. 33, he's ending up dying first. That is first blood for Satanic, who lives and gets the kill. And the extra bounty for the first blood on a Medusa. That is a scary proposition if you're a Tundra fan.
And even better here for Paravision if they could get the Lotus for Medusa, but doesn't necessarily look possible. Medusa, probably the single best hero in a side lane to have it on. The amount of health you get from the mana is incredible. But he'll take first blood and be happy with it. I think there was maybe a little bit of Mango involvement from Ducalis there, I'm not sure, but they misjudged the damage they could output. He had I think a pretty charged up stick too. And that's good news for Satanic. You and I, we cast yesterday, we cast Radon on the Medusa getting the most ridiculous CS of the tournament, I think. Yeah. Sitting at about 500 CS minute 30. See if Satanic can match that. I don't think so, because it's almost impossible. Yeah, I don't. We need to have a totally free game, but who knows? We'll revisit that in 30 minutes.
I'm sure we'll remember.
Of course.
So mid lane, you can see BZM right now sitting on 16 and 6, while no one a little bit ahead, 18 and 6 on the Beastmaster. I mean, what is this matchup supposed to look like, the Beast versus TA?
I'm just trying to think of what heroes Beastmaster like convincingly loses to except Huskar or that type in mid. Like maybe Sniper is bad. So I'm not really too surprised to see it be slightly Beastmaster favorite now. I guess TA should be doing better at level 5 when the refraction really starts kicking in. I would have not let's put it this way. I would have expected it to be a draw at worst for TA. So far I'm impressed by the Beastmaster. But with all the changes, Hero just seems incredibly powerful in mid matchups that you wouldn't necessarily expect. We saw him, was it no one we saw solo kill Storm as well yesterday, or was that another play? Either way, like, the Beastmasters have just been winning their lane mid.
Yep, tough to push them out. They do have a couple heroes that could be very good at the ganks with the Ringmaster and the Tusk. I mean, it'd be hard-pressed to find better ganking supports for this time of the game. We'll see at that 6-minute power run. I'm sure we'll see a little collision of sorts in the river.
For now, it's just a flat 1k lead, though, for PARIVISION. Just doing better in lanes, including the first blood, of course. So they should be very happy. Offlane Kunkka is... I was saying this at an earlier point in this tournament, I consider this hero overall better as an offlaner than a mid, but I've kind of had to eat my words on that to an extent because some of the mid Kunkkas have had massive impact.
Yeah, I was surprised as well.
But what I will say is, if you play offlane Kunkka and you have a good laning stage, the hero is incredible. Like, the only problem this hero often faces in the offlane is that when you lose your lane too hard, the recovery curve can be really steep. But the start that he has here on DM, I think, is more than good enough. Hero does it a lot when it gets level 6, if it has one or, you know, just a little phase boot, whatever. Well, big pressure mid.
Yep, the siege is there. He's going to get some accompaniment via 9 class. And of course, Ducalis as well. Soxa coming in from the low ground. He's going to take a dual breath, and no one has his roar at the ready. We'll use the axes first. Maybe they can get this without the ultimate being expended. They'll just use it to ensure that the second kill goes their way. Let's see if they can do some more damage to this tower. The siege, all alone. 9 class trying to tank up the tower a bit so that the siege gets a couple more pop shots.
Oh, he dies in the trap now.
9 class has to be careful. Getting knifed, getting shanked from afar.
I think the last knife hit Ducalis, but he would have also had the healing Lotus anyway. So yeah, it's a death on Soxa, but I honestly don't think it's that bad of a death. It stopped the push. It pulled them away from the tower. The siege creep ends up dying, and they only lose about a third of the health. That was a quite big commitment from PARIVISION, and it's going to cost them bottom on DM.
Oh yeah, Metamorphosis, nice torn onto 2, but DM with that tag team cannot go anywhere. Uses the X, but just not to be. Crystallis ensures the first kill goes to Tundra, as yeah, we have the 7-minute wisdoms coming. Whitemon trying to do a little sneaky action.
I mean, they got it. They're 2-on-0 here. The one trying to sneak is
both?
Ducalis. He cannot get this alone.
Jakiro versus Sand King. This
not getting it in time, I think.
No, he's not.
If he had a point nice path, he would have got it, but now
33
the yield
ensures both wisdoms to Tundra. That is a huge deal.
Yeah, and they're also going to lose 9 class most likely here.
Yeah, he's stuck in no man's land. How dare you get close to your tier 1 tower? 3 members of Tundra collapse on him. DM trying to defend this for the time being.
Oh, with mid lane, they got a roar off on BZM.
Oh, BZM. Dual breath applied as well. The refraction not going to be there. Gets taken out swiftly by no one. And Whitemon actually shows up to try to support. Going to take a whip onto no one. But this looks to be likely another kill. Doesn't have much mana to speak of. There's TP coming in. The axes are there. Soxa actually healing him up a little bit. As Paravision might be getting turned around on a big whip coming out onto no one. And Whitemon and Soxa actually turn this around. 2 supports take out the mid laner of Paravision.
Yeah, no one just ran out of resources. He wanted to throw axes one more time, but he's completely dry on mana. And Ducalis as well. They thought they had enough to get that secondary kill. The Ringmaster can be deceptive sometimes how hard he is to kill, even if you think it doesn't matter that much. Just a little bit of Tame the Beast. It killed the Hawk. The first one, it gives him the distance. They need to resummon the boar, and then he plays around the tree line a little bit. Very nicely done there from White.
Oh, they're going to collapse onto Noah, who just TP'd in. That tag team is doing work. Another death back-to-back onto Noah. And you see the mass TPs coming from Paravision, wanting to shut this down. Whitemon with a nice whip. Snowball going to be used to go on top of 9 class, taking a ton of damage, but now Soxa and BZM in retreat mode. Satanic shards, not going to completely block off everybody. In fact, Satanic can maneuver his way. And Soxa steals a bounty rune, and it looks like he's going to get out as well. So Tundra getting away with murder, and no one's game just took a huge turn.
Not sure he got away with the murder just yet.
33's in the vicinity, though. As the Mystic Snake, not quite enough. Soxa into the tree line. He will get away with murder. Whitemon, though, will be the sacrifice, it seems. But still, an amazing turn of events for Tundra.
That mid dive is pretty much the highest impact play they could have found on the map there. Killing a respawning TP core hero immediately slows him down a ton. They got a lot of damage on the tower as well. And sure, you lose the Ringmaster in the end, but the amount of time and effort. Keep in mind, Satanic was chasing a hero for like a full minute instead of farming. And this means Crystallis gets some much-needed catch-up in that core-to-core matchup. Medusa is still ahead, but now it's only by about 300. A moment ago, it was significantly more than that.
I mean, that move means he is not going to match Yatoro's farm.
That's true. Now he can't get the 500.
Literally that one move. That's all it takes. Gotta be picture perfect. Easy him with the regen rune, rather. DM and 9 class can be taking out some nice stacks here.
This is a relatively low-level Tinker for 9 class at this point. Obviously, as you mentioned, they got 0 wisdoms. So 9 class would love to be level 6 right now, so he can start teleporting around and finding that additional farm. I think Tinker has to be one of the absolute best supports to steal both wisdoms against because of his, this is an acceleration hero, and slowing down that 6, everything just compounds really hard compared to other supports that, whether they're 5 or 6, maybe it prevents them from getting 1 kill or doing 1 play. But for Tinker is like the amount of efficiency lost right now. If he was level 6, he would be farming double camps of jungle. So I think they would be wise to flat out just give 9 class this lane until he's 6, let him have it solo, and that's the plan right now. DM will let his support lane for him.
And Paravision have to give up their stack. It wasn't a giant stack by any means, but BZM will clean it up nicely. More gold efficiency lost on the Paravision side.
And now that this mid tower is gone, they get this path.
Look around, no one. Currently jungling. Not sure if they have the vision needed. Ward placed now. No one. Yeah, they're going to need more than just that, as 33 making his way over as well. So this is a 3 versus 1 essentially. Snowball. Ice Shards block in, no one. Mass TPs again from Paravision. As the Wheel of Wonder used, he's trying to get to the other side. He's going to get bursted though in the end, but can they turn this around? Macropyre applied. Not a whole lot of damage though. 33 is going to be brought back into the boat. Looks to be a trade. Beastmaster for Sand King. BZM and the rest of Tundra now on the run. Soxa gonna go down to Satanic, although gets off the snowball to delay his inevitable death. So 2 for 1. The numbers on the side of Paravision, but it did require them to bring a lot more heroes, and the fact that no one keeps dying, his game feels pretty bad right now.
I would say the biggest winner in all of this, though, is 9 class. We just talked about him. He now finds level 7. He got the killing blow as well on, I believe, the Sand King there, so a lot of gold going his way as well. And 9 class, in classic 9 class fashion, he's going the offensive build. There you go. Yeah, let's.
I don't hear any music.
I love the boglet.
What kind of sound does that make? It's Satanic.
Satanic.
And you get Walrus Punch. Crystallis coming from the other side, gets a reflection as well. Ice Shards blocking in Satanic. Not a whole lot of mana, but the Mystic Snake gives him a lot back. Has to use his Stone Gaze to fully retreat.
This tower's going to be tough to crack with a level 7 Tinker here, but they're going to try to keep diving it. Oh, they got Vision.
Yep, they sure do. Cancel the TP, easy kill.
Oh, now it's not going to be hard.
Okay, well, that's a trade of sorts. And the flute-carrying Poliwag will be destroyed, unfortunately. Let's get a little cheer for the Poliwag. That's right. R.I.P. Oh, there's more there. All right, we're good. Very replaceable, it seems. Manta Style now online for Satanic. That's his first item of choice.
Yep. Straight into Butter Disperser is the plan, so pretty standard.
Yeah, I think the only deviation from the Yatoro build we saw yesterday is the Silver Edge. That, of course, was against a Bristleback.
Yeah, he's not going to buy that this game. Which obviously opens other doors. If you want something like a Scotty, you could do that. If you want to triple down on the damage. But I was going to say, speaking of damage, 9 class with a very aggressive Tinker build. He's gone Kaya first, and then he's going Blink. So nothing like, Greaves or Holy Locket. Panel was talking about Holy Locket to help Medusa. 9 class, he's not about that life. He wants to get to that Ags against Terrorblade. An amazing item for the game if it goes late enough. And, recent history in the tournament would indicate that could definitely happen. that we get to late game. Once again, Tundra on top of the Wisdom.
Both again, potentially. I mean, nobody's on the other side right now, but
they're just giving them up.
My goodness.
This is a pretty big deal. Like, the supports of PARIVISION would love to get some more of that experience.
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be double blink reveal from Tundra as well, both on 33 and on BZN, so they want to get ultra aggressive. So I'm not sure we're going to see a farm fest in this mid game, Sidra. At least I would hope not with 2 blink blinking from camp to camp, super efficient.
It's definitely going to be a bit polarizing because I think in theory both teams have good aggressive potential. One team has Roar and X and the other one has the Sanking Stun and the Snowball. But I think more than likely what's going to happen is Tundra will be trying to take initiative and make moves with their blinks, and PARIVISION's heroes are insane on defense if they have good formation. So they might try to make some baits happen, essentially, where they put good vision in advance and anticipate movement. And then as the hit comes in, you immediately have, say, a level 3 Ice Path from the Jakiro right now, or a Ghost Ship coming through to just delay, stall out the fight. And in extended fights, this PARIVISION lineup
33, starting off a beautiful double burrow strike. Ducalis is going to get right-click down easily as the Wheel of Wonder reserved for DM. Blade Mail applied, but BZM's Refraction will just brush it off. 2 quick kills for Tundra.
No bait in that one. He got the double stun, so the counterplay unavailable. And even if he would have not stunned the Jakiro, I don't even know if they can save each other there anyway. They were way out in the open. There was no tower to TP to, so that's easy for Tundra. Now they also get the Tormentor, so all 4 Wisdoms and Tormentor. I wonder what the win rate is of this. It's got to be pretty damn high, but they don't have too instrumental of a lead, all things considered.
Yeah.
But it's still looking very, very good compared to 5 to 6 minutes in, where it looked like PARIVISION's laning stage was going great. That's all been negated.
The spotlight is there for Whitemon with the shard, and there are illusions this time. The Manta. Medusa.
Definitely not bad. And it's also, Spotlight is kind of an interesting tool to have against Tinker, because he's often going to be in the tree line, and getting some sort of vision and information can be really valuable. The cast range of Spotlight is pretty damn high. 1500. It's one of the longest cast range spells in the entire game.
He's going to get ganked. Snowball to stun him off. Has the Stone Gaze, gets it off. Gets the Ice Shards, though, from Soxa, kind of blocking him in with his own illusions. But the TPs from PARIVISION are coming. Whitemon will be the recipient of the X-Torrent. Looks like Satanic will be fine on the outskirts as the Roar reserve.
Big
just for BZM. The Epicenter coming in from 33, deleting 9 class from the face of the earth. No one is next on the list. That's 3 dead for PARIVISION. And Satanic, he has no mana whatsoever. Do they have the catch? Knife is not going to hit. Trap does slow barely. 33. Can he get to the high ground? He does. Burrow Strike finds its target as BZM coming in for one more shot to take out the Medusa. 4-0. Tundra taking firm control of the game now.
Radiant are scanning.
If they get the initiative and PARIVISION don't get a correct counterplay, it's really difficult for them. And honestly, this begs the question, is 9 class overcooking in this game? He has not skilled Defense Matrix. He's
really?
4-4-0 build on support Tinker.
What?
Which I feel like is, I mean, he might have done this before this tournament, but all the games of Tinker we've cast, this is unheard of. It's the first item Kaya I see as well, so he definitely has a plan for later in the game, but right now, that Defense Matrix, perhaps in those situations, could have made a difference. If nothing else, just the status resistance against the piled-on stuns and silences would have been nice.
Yeah.
But as it stands, Tundra now with a pretty commanding lead. They have a very good lineup for constricting the map. Terrorblade pushes waves very well with the illusions. You've got TA traps that he can just place on the lanes to push out them too. And then you corner the opponent. It's just a matter of time before you find some sort of moment of opportunity with your Sand King. So very nice position to be in now for Tundra. And PARIVISION, at this point you need to outplay. I don't think you strategically, let's say if you like their draft a little bit more, whatever advantage they would have had is gone. So now it's about down to execution. Nice try from 33 on the X-Mark pullback.
Yeah,
mistimed it though.
In a lot of trouble though. Ghost Ship finds him.
Yeah.
And he pops the Crimson Guard, so he is mega tanky, but not going to get through that. The Satanic, he's going to be caught off guard. Has to use his ult again as 9 class and company still TPing to support. BZM comes in for a couple right clicks. Satanic gets the Defense Matrix with the Wheel of Wonder. Beautiful placement. Satanic crit down along with 9 classes. Ducalis onto the high ground. Getting chased. BZM with the big melt strike, 3 strikes afterwards, dead. So they lose 33 on the bottom of the map, but they get 3 in return.
And wasting no moment here on Crystallis. Insta-TPs to mid to farm and push out waves. The name of the game here is just keep Paravision on the back foot. Don't let them get out on the map. You know what? No one's been awfully quiet this game on Beastmaster. I feel like we haven't even talked about him for 10 minutes. He's 2-4-0. His Beastmaster performances in other games have just been flat out hard carrying the team. This game, not much to write home about. Now, also going to have to contend against an Aegis. And Whitemon now with the Yules too, sets up his spells way, way easier. And just Yule into a full team, the Beast combo or wheel. Soxa.
Soxa, careful now, young man. That would have been embarrassing. But
maxing.
Tundra still secure the Aegis, and BZM will claim it.
Yeah, I think it's the right hero to put it on. You could debate whether it's Terrorblade or TA, but I think BZM really wants to get in there and use this, whereas the Terrorblade transformation hero in this game, the second life, might not be as valuable. And this is probably also not a high ground Aegis.
No one tried to get off the roar, but the Yules was there. Whitemon and company going to turn this around. 33 with the epicenter. Spotlight on top. No one left all alone in the corner of the map. This is kind of an awkward fight as the Wheel of Wonder avoided, but the whip and the right clicks from 33 are enough. No one being shut down very hard this game.
Whitemon will high-five the tower on the way back to base.
Feels like no one has not recovered at all since that double death, if you want to call it that.
Yeah, it slowed down his progression massively in the game.
Dire's middle tower is under
It's now almost a 10k lead minute 20. Kind of unbelievable considering where we were at 10 minutes ago, but Tundra have made everything work for themselves. Yeah. Literally every single move. It's been a massive victory. And at this point, you know, now you've got a lot of options. You can choose to farm if you want to. You can play super aggressive with your Aegis on TA. You can try to make aggressive smoke moves and just especially target the Medusa, which at this point kind of feels like Paravision's best hope at solving this game. Gank on Tinker wouldn't be too bad either. Oh, Crystallis, that's just a freebie. Ducalis missing the ice path.
You dead. And it feels like Tundra can just get whatever kills they want. I mean, DM is pretty tanky though. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
Even with BZM's ridiculous farm right now. Second net worth just behind Crystallis. And in terms of itemization for Crystallis, let's see. He's got Dragonlance Manta. We'll be going for the Diffusal Blade, so we'll be seeing that counter to Medusa.
Yep. Makes sense. Pretty strong. 33 almost has a pipe, so that's going to be Pipe Crimson.
The jump in onto 9 class. He's just dead right in front of his tier 2 tower. And Paravision, they were looking to defend, but the silence comes out from the trap. It's going to be another one to come. Onto 2. Wheel of Wonder placement. Beautiful. On the 2 heroes. The double stun from Soxa. Down goes Medusa. This is disastrous for Paravision. DM, well, the Yules actually cancels his TP, so why not? Yet another kill for Tundra. And they're not even sweating, Cinder. Look at their HP bars. Nobody was touched.
Whitemon is so good at this hero. I don't know. He's hitting absolutely everything. He's hitting every dart. He's hitting every wheel. He's getting clutch Yules off. Just beautiful to watch. And that is going to lead into a straight high ground push here for Tundra. Should be at the bare minimum 1 lane.
Oh, yeah.
2 heroes dead for 20 seconds. They push very fast. Desolator and Terrorblade in one team. Say goodbye to your real estate.
BZM wanting to look for more. But yeah, with these timers coming up, expect the full retreat, and they still have 2 minutes on the Aegis.
Yeah, honestly,
kind of crazy.
They could make another move. Metamorphosis is up in 15 seconds. They have Pipe and Crimson. You could go for the killing blow with one singular team fight somewhere out on the map. At that point, Paravision might just call it too, because it's not like they're close to one of the true game changers. Like we talked about Tinker Ags. He's about an Aghanims away from his Ags. Beastmaster is close to BKB, I suppose. But, I mean, yeah, there's just... Considering the way this all started out, Paravision has completely run out of steam very quickly. Like 15k lead minute 23. Medusa, I suppose there's a... Is this a butterfly coming out? It is now. But is it too little too late? MKB on the horizon now for Crystallis. He knows it's coming, so...
Yeah, and he's already has 3k into that MKB, so this butterfly not going to last too long in terms of his full efficiency.
Actually finished the pike first. All right.
Oh, okay.
So he's choosing to consider that more important. Don't mind it. I mean, at this point, with the game state you're in, just get what you're comfortable with.
Yep. All right, well, now that there's only 40 seconds on the Aegis, not sure if they're going to push the envelope on the side of Tundra. You could just play this super methodically, wait for the next Rosh, go for the Tormentor, which should be up relatively soon, and just starve them out of the map slowly.
Yeah. See the drawing there from 33. He's drawing the entire bottom of the map. He's saying someone is farming here, and he's correct. 9 class needs to be a little bit desperate now for farm. He has to get creative.
Yeah, you have to take risks when you're behind like this, or else you're just never going to get back in the game.
But the fact of the matter is, 9 class, now he finally gets level 12, so now he can TP on creeps. It's been forever. It's hard for him to TP on creeps in this game. He will do it right now, but this is not a safe play, per se. They could easily have been Radiant heroes here and they just immediately assassinate you, but you have to take the risk. Get some waves out so you get some sort of a semblance of map placement. And actually, this is going to be the hill that Paravision might die on. This is a surprising play for me that you're prioritizing this area so much. But maybe you're just hoping, all right, we know we're behind. Tundra feel like they can do whatever they want, so they're probably just going to grab a Tormentor and go from there. Maybe they will not go here with the whole team. Maybe they'll go with like 3 heroes and
oh boy.
set a trap.
They get the D ward.
Yeah.
They know that they know that they know. Onto the high ground. Tundra want to go. Tormentor is up.
Oh, Spotlight's
Spotlight
good
with
here.
an extra vision. Knife actually connects onto Ducalis. And the X will start things out for DM. Torrent not going to find a connection as BZM on the sideline deletes Ducalis in 2 hits. Wheel of Wonder onto the Medusa. Do they have the right-click damage? They're not even going to apply too much right now. They get their stun lock, though, with that snowball. Chrysalis, he's going to get roared. They need to get all the damage onto him from the Paravision side.
Crimson.
But the Pipe, Crimson, Force Staff, Chrysalis is fine. No one able to get the Nightfall away, but Satanic left alone, and that's your carry. Punched into the air. They're just going to call it. GG's. No one actually disconnects. That is a rough. We're seeing Pangolier back into the fray. Bounty Hunter, they got a lot of different stuff in this.
Yeah, this is a couple of, I want to say, firsts for Paravision this tournament. Maybe they've played Bounty Hunter once before. It's the hero's 3rd game, and we obviously got to cast the 2nd game overall yesterday, being on Rue. The Pango is currently 0-2, so not exactly the best stat line for that hero, but also very low pick rate. So definitely Paravision with the big adjustments here. Tundra sticking to, you know, what's worked for them for the most part. There's nothing new coming out in this game, but there also was nothing new coming out in game 1 and it worked there. So why not just keep running while you've got it? Curious to see how this is going to go down. Beastmaster safe lane is definitely the least played role of the hero this tournament for among the cores, and it has its moments, but like the panel was talking about, perhaps will fall off ultra late. But you should never underestimate just how much damage and how much carrying this hero can do in the mid game. We've seen it from the mid, right? Be top damage in the game. So if you're carry and you get to farm even more than in the mid lane, it can be beastly. No pun intended.
I think you did intend that, actually. Okay. So it will be the offlane Medusa for DM, and he has the undulation facet, which gives him the fixed 310 move. See, when this was first introduced, I think we saw 1 or 2 matches, and it looked atrocious. But it does make a lot of sense against a bristleback type here that's just slowing you constantly.
It's also new tech, right? The facet itself hasn't changed, but people have, reviewed the item builds, and the whole Meteor Hammer approach and double null talisman seems to make it a lot better. So sometimes you just need to leave things in the game for a little while and players figure out what to do with it. But yeah, this was one of the more polarizing ones when it came out, where some people thought it was going to be completely useless and some thought it would be broken. At this point, I guess it's kind of both, somehow.
Yeah, well, game dependent. That's what facets should be about, right? So we'll see how it works out for him. Of course, he cannot be slowed at all, and his move speed, like I said, is fixed at 310, but his Stone Gaze does give him the increased move speed, so he will have that ability to burst move speed away. Whitemon doing a good job of harassing. He is playing 9 classes last hero, which is Tinker. And I would say it was a trade, but the Ringmaster has played by Bucalis instead. 9 class playing the bounty. Talk to me about the bounty. This is another hero we don't get to see a ton of.
Yeah, honestly, I'm a bit surprised it's been this unpicked. I would think in a meta where players are sure toward the tail end of this tournament, some of the games have been slower, but even then, like if you think of last game as a frame of reference, there was a lot of action, tons of fights. If you can get away with the laning stage and get track and you have heroes that benefit from the vision, yeah, I don't know, I think he's just flat out been overlooked. His biggest weakness is the very early laning stage if you're playing against a powerful lane, but you know, together with an offlane Medusa, most things are going to work. Since you can't get slowed, so she can kind of hold her own, you can always just pull waves. And you have the X factor of whenever you're missing, it's less obvious where Bounty Hunter is than most other position 4s.
Right.
And he could also feign that he's missing and then still be in his own lane and then go for a surprise gank in the lane that he's playing.
Ganking his own lane?
Yep.
Unbelievable tech. Never seen that before.
Very special.
So, panel kind of talked about it, but with Satanic playing the Beastmaster, what kind of late game potential do you think this... I mean, can this Medusa transition to a carry despite going for a Media Hammer type build to start?
I think damage issues should not become a problem until very, very late. Because Beastmaster with, say, Shiva's Refresher actually has ridiculous teamfight damage together with the Aghanim Scepter. Pangolier scales very well in the physical department when he gets farmed enough. So it's also a matter of what Paravision's plan even is. Like, are you trying to go late here with the Bounty Hunter, or are you trying to win around the 30-40 minute mark? Because in that range, I don't have any concerns. I'm a little bit potentially worried for them at like minute 50 to 60, but not very many games tend to go there.
No one playing the Pangolier. Another hero that's been lost in the shuffle for the most part. As we see the Lotus battle, of course, 9 class trying to try to force out a sentry. I guess they don't have one. They're just gonna wait it out, but they actually do get it. They kept the stacks of the Quill Spray. A little fake out, I suppose, to 9 class. I just figured they didn't have the sentry, but they had it all along.
That is the dumbest kill of the tournament right there, I promise.
What the hell?
He's just AFK there for like 20 seconds, then eventually like, you know what, whatever, I'll put the sentry, let's see.
Yeah, but the fact that he had Quill Spray stacks on him already ended up dooming him.
He was also tanking a decent chunk of the March, so...
Very unorthodox first blood for Tundra, but good start for them.
Yeah, Crystallis will be rushing Vanguard on the safe lane Bristle. Off of this, gets the Ring of Health, and that effectively does free up Whitemon quite a bit. He's going to take advantage of that to go and stack the Ancients for the time being.
So still a couple heroes I want to talk about before action really gets rolling here. One is here, which is No One, playing the Pango, going on top of BZM. Bucalis makes his way over, but not going to turn that into a kill unless 9 class. Uh-oh. He's got the one right click. Only level 2 right now, but the swashbuckle from No One finishes the job. Nice job from Paravision, actually forcing a TP from Soxa as well.
Yeah, and before that, they also forced a TP of Whitemon, who canceled it. So both supports now unable to rotate for the side of Tundra. You know, the big winner in all of this is going to be Satanic, who will just totally free farm bot lane on his Beastmaster. The lane against Darks here for Beast is very easy.
And Whitemon, he looks to be close to dead, gets off the laser onto DM. He will eventually drop. 9 class to get forced out. And Crystallis, not a whole lot of mana to do much more.
We were talking about Paravision looking for revenge in this game. I think 9 class has a...
Oh yeah.
Ironically, his hero has a voice line about just business, nothing personal, but I'm pretty sure it's personal with Whitemon right now. He's tipping him literally everything he does. Whether he kills him, cancel his TP, it doesn't matter. I mean, he's out for blood this game.
I don't know Whitemon that well. He does not seem like the tilting type to me.
No.
I don't know if you agree.
I mean, every time he gets tipped, he's playing Jenkins' Circus voice line. So it doesn't seem very tilted to me, but you can read into that however you want.
33 is playing his first hero. Different hero that we've seen, it feels like. We'll be playing the Darks here. I mean, it's a similar playstyle, but the difference is you're lacking in the damage. It's more in the initiation. And, I mean, the illusions with a Medusa that is carry would be good, but in this game, I mean, I guess you get the aura from the Beastmaster, but still,
it only
it's not
affects
like
yourself,
craziest.
though.
Dire are scanning.
Yeah, that's true,
So
actually.
it's not really that meaningful. Yourself and your other wall illusions, I guess.
No Rolling Thunder. BZM's only level 5, and Ducal is coming in as well as 9 class with the whip. BZM hits level 6, and the zip away is successful. He's ticking really low as 9 class. I don't think you're going to find him. So a good TP in there, and
it's going to run to the river to kill the
very
courier.
Fortunate. Yeah,
the water came into effect, Shannon. He would not have killed that courier without the water change.
Worth the feature all along.
There
Man.
it is. I have been chasing moments in the game where I'm like, wow, it really made a difference here. Because usually it's heroes chasing each other and they're equally fast. So it's like, whatever, right? That actually mattered there. He killed the courier because of the river.
I'll put that on the very, very short highlight reel of the water.
This moment. Also, time for
bottom. On top of Satanic, Ducalis is there for support, but he's going to turn this around. Satanic does with that Primal Roar onto 33. BZM with the stun, but 9 class is here to get another stun on top of everybody else's. 33 is the first to fall. 9 class is the trade.
It's
BZM walking away. No, not really much mana.
I think it's pretty important there that BZM gets the kill on Bounty. I think he might have been able to sneak his way over and get the Wisdom in time. BZM was out of mana, so he might not have got into the ring before it was too late, but now he also gets the Wisdom. He takes it himself, though. So one of the supports on the side of Tundra not receiving anything, which should be Whitemon. And, you know, we talked about 33, his Sanking Beastmaster. That's been everything we've been casting him on. The reason he's playing Darkseer here is not because the other heroes were banned. It's because Darkseer is always banned.
Yeah.
But now this time he gets it, and honestly, it looks like the weakest of the 3.
It looks
so
pretty bad, but
kind of ironic. He's level 4. The Beastmaster's almost level 7 on Satanic.
To be fair, you're not typically laning against a Beastmaster.
That's fair. That's fair.
It is a bit weird.
But this has definitely been one of 33's worst starts of the entire tournament, so curious to see how he's going to solve this problem. Interestingly, some nice tech from him. He gets the trusty shovel and he digs up a cobalt so he can put an iron shell on it.
Oh, that is
actually
cool.
Increases his farming speed. This is the most 33 thing ever. This is
so nerdy.
So 33 to do this. Oh man. There we go.
BZM.
Little helper.
He has a decent amount of mana and a soul ring. Swashbuckle though into the Shadow Walk. Now 9 class can't finish the job.
I think he wasn't able to get the Shadow Walk hit off to begin with. BZM just made it under the tower, but if nothing else, they're forcing him out. This will be the mid-tower lost against Pangolier of all heroes at 8 minutes 30 seconds. This hero doesn't push for jack shit, and he still got the tower that fast.
Yeah, they do kill off 9 class, but yeah, you're right. Yep. Space created for that mid-tower. I mean, let's talk about Pangolier a bit. Why is this hero, I mean, I know it's been nerfed countless times, but people were still picking it after the nerfs, and then it kind of just disappeared for a long stretch, I want to say.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it can still work, right? I mean, we've also, it's not the first game of the tournament exactly that it's been picked, but as you mentioned, it's just the numbers changes eventually catch up to you too much. So you need to have a really good reason for running it at this point, which I guess is a little bit refreshing to see Pangolier in that position where you need to use it as a counter pick or you need to see multiple picks in the draft instead of, oh, it's a Dota game, so I can pick Pango.
Right.
I think, I'm not going to say it's in a good spot for that reason, but honestly, it's just nice change of pace, if nothing else.
Now, no one will pick up the Diffusal Blade. I mean, if this was when he was more popular, I'd say they're trying to take it away from the enemy as well against the Medusa, but yeah. I doubt Tundra would have picked it regardless.
I mean, Medusa was also the overall last pick of the draft, right? I think it was the very last pick.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So he chose it regardless.
Yeah.
Which is kind of interesting because there's not... I suppose the Diffusal Blade is kind of... They were more looking at the Rolling Thunder and having it as a strategic way of accessing Darkseer fights, I think. That was more what they were thinking. But obviously, the early stages have gone very well here for no one as well. And I will say it's one of his better heroes for sure, so... Ball Lightning.
Yeah, finds the connection on the 9 class. The Ava from Stocks actually gets a Courier as well. A 2-for-1 special for Tundra. And out of the laning stage, in terms of net worth, Paravision with a slight lead.
Very low-level bounty hunter. You got to find that 6. It's level 4. Tiny almost level 6. Tinker level 7. Whitemon is... He knows how to play the 5 Tinker. He knows how to find the farm and scale. So, bounty hunter would love to get the 6 and get involved with some sort of track kills. And he is farming down bottom now to get that experience. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm hearing some crazy yells in the crowd. I don't know if anyone did something cool, but
You just spoke and
That's right.
people respond.
That's right. That's there you go. Yeah. I know, that was very deserving of cheers.
It's a really sad cheer, actually. That was a pity cheer.
Like, woohoo!
Whoopee cushion at the ready for Ducalis as the Polywogs are ready to go.
Oh,
Their cheeks are a-puffing.
those are some fat cheeks. You just want to, you just want to squeeze all of that. Just go, you know.
That's right.
That's right.
And you get 20 gold for your troubles.
Can't resist the temptation.
So from the Satanic side, I'm guessing, I mean, you said the build's not going to really be any different since it's a position 1 Beastmaster.
Yeah.
There's only a couple ways to build him, it feels like. And it will be the Aghanim Scepter to start things out for him.
I think it's probably just going to be Ags, BKB, Shiva, Blink in some sort of order, and then Refresher.
BKB, if it's early, then that's a little different, right? You don't typically see that as a second item on the off lane.
Well, we've seen it as the second item in the mid lane. And I think that's probably the closer comparison in terms of what you're looking for from the hero. So, regen for no one. His Fake cast his ulti 20 times and used it 0.
All right, I'm going to mention one neutral item. This is the 3rd neutral item I will mention during this entire patch because of the way the system's changed. But Ripper's Lash on no one, if he can get it off before Swashbuckle, pretty damn good.
Yep.
Very cool interaction. And this one I thought was really good when it came out, but they buffed it after the fact, so apparently it wasn't good.
When I saw this, I was like, oh no, Broodmother is coming back for this item. But we haven't really seen the hero much.
Thank God for that.
Yeah,
Can we get a cheer for Broodmother?
No. We cannot.
There, it's barely anything. That's perfect.
It's like 10 sickos out there in the crowd. It's good that you guys are the minority. That makes me happy. It makes me feel good.
As DM takes the tower.
Who in the world says, can we get some cheers for Broodmother? What is wrong with you?
It was a test, obviously.
Well, who were you testing?
The Broodmother players.
No, that was a self-report.
Single them out. Kick them out now. Disgusting creatures.
The Broodmother or the player?
That's a good question. Now 33 in Whitemon, pressuring the tier 1, but there will be a defense mounted. This is 2 minutes before the Tormentor. They'd love to get this tower.
So track, giving them information, and Medusa is going to be a wall here. Just a flat-out brick wall. Really difficult to push into for the side of Tundra.
How important is getting this tier 1 for Tundra to be able to contest the Tormentor, would you say?
It's really important. It's also not only the Tormentor, it's generally more so just opening up the map and accessing more farm. This is what you generally Fox is going to interrupt the Meteor Hammer here, but I don't think DM cares all that much. He will just attack the tower instead, do the slower takedown. But yeah, you need to open that bot tower, but it's really difficult against Medusa, so you are just constricted to less of the map. You can see now PARIVISION have taken all 3 tier 1s. Tundra yet to claim their first tower of the game. So they will be playing on just flat out less space, and that is a scary proposition against a hero like Bounty Hunter, who can really take advantage of towers being down. He can get in there and place deep wards. He can give you information about the overall movements of the enemy team. He can set traps. So I think right now PARIVISION should feel very comfortable with the game state. Only big question mark here is how good is Satanic at Beastmaster? I think that's still what remains to be answered here is this the type of game that he can just take over? Because it is a different stereotype of hero than what we mostly see him on. He is queuing up the BKB. And Sanjin Yasha, actually, in his quick buy as well. We'll see if that will be
very exciting.
Bought or not.
All right, Atos on DM, so will likely be a Gleipnir at some point with the extra AoE on Gorgon's Grasp.
Torment time.
It is Torment time, and it looks like it'll just be given up, so freebie for Paravision. Only question is, who will get the Shard? 9 class or Ducalis?
The other question is, how did Ducalis miss Impalement Arts on a Tormentor?
Okay, I give them
the hitboxes are deceiving.
It might be something like, you know, when you're trying to hit a spell and you randomly click on a high ground or whatever, you miss. Maybe the Tormentor's a little bit janky. That was funny though. Anyway. Goes to Ducalis, as you said, so Spotlight, what's it good for here? Wall illusions, actually?
Yeah.
Not bad. He can kill the wall with it. Mischance for a Bristle running Seeing Red is actually really valuable too. So I think it's hard to say which shard is better here because the Bounty Hunter one is also very, very good, the Friendly Shadow.
Yeah, I was looking
There was no bad outcome.
Yeah, for sure. feel like that one is, I mean, not that we see Bounty that often, but it feels like that shard's a bit underused. Especially when you get the talent. The Atos into the Gorgon's Grasp, into the Meteor Hammer, and the Wheel of Wonder. That is enough damage. Swash as well from no one. Big kill for Paravision.
That is a cool gank.
Yeah.
Medusa Bounty Hunter ganking together. What year is it?
True.
Atos into Meteor Hammer, and as he's trying to zip away the stun from Shadow Walk, and then comes the wheel. Very well orchestrated there from Paravision. They're not going to get much out of it. They'll do a little bit of tower damage with the Meteor Hammer, but marches are already pre-placed from Whitemon to stem the bleeding. But this is where Beastmaster, once again, you're in control of the map. Objectives are just going to go your way. They got the Tormentor earlier, now looking for Rosh. Doesn't feel like Tundra can do much about it.
And the question is, how much can they get out of this first Aegis? I feel like this one is a little bit more important than the past ones that we've seen, because it's all tempo-based with your position 1 Beastmaster. Soxa, Rolling Thunder, gonna stun lock him. He is out of mana with that Diffusal Blade. Ducalis and company with the track kill. More gold in Paravision's pocket.
And this is now only 1,000 gold away for no one from his Aghanim Scepter.
I'm really interested to see how much gold they can get out of this next 5 minutes. I feel like this is ultra important for Paravision. Can they get the rest of the tier 2s? I think so.
And I feel like this is now the... Oh, BZM. Might be okay. I'm going to feel confident enough to go for a Lotus, but he will be blocked off by Ducalis. It's going to be interesting to see for the remainder of this tournament now, based on this game and what we saw last night. I feel like Bounty Hunter is actually going to go massively up in stock. He's been a great hero today. He was outstanding in Spirit's game that they played it last night, and he's basically unpicked in the tournament, so it's kind of cool to see when you're down to 4 teams, this hero suddenly gets rediscovered as a solution to some of the problems.
Like that, opens it up onto Ducalis. Rolling Thunder from no one. They've already lost their support though. And no one looks like he does not want to continue to fight. So quick pick off for Tundra, and finally the tier 1. Yeah.
18.5 minutes for their first tower. This is very slow by Tundra standards. It's important to open up this area. It's going to cost them. Nothing comes for free in this game.
Oh, good deny though.
From Whitemon. Clutch.
But still, a tier 2 for a tier 1. Still 3 minutes on this Aegis. I mean, what are the item timings that we're waiting for? You talked about the BKB for Satanic. He's 100 away from that.
Yeah.
That might be what they're waiting for. The Gleipnir, I believe, is on the way as well for DM.
That's big.
And the Aghanim Scepter on Pango, 10 gold away. So this is a giant power spike for Paravision. The Avalanche is going to find DM. Has the Stone Gaze. Try to make him force it. Better use it soon. He's out of mana. Close to it at least. Will finally pop that ult in retreat mode. 33 is going to get the Surge onto Soxa. There's another Avatos back into the fray. They get the roar off as well, but the Wheel of Thunder providing so much space. The zip in from BZM wants to finish the job, but the box saves DM even longer. BZM, another zip. He's completely out of mana at this point. He's getting tracked. He's getting destroyed. Swashbuckle into the shield crash. No one saves DM. They've lost nobody. The Rolling Thunder now applied into the Meteor Hammer. That is going to be a dead Bristleback very shortly, and Whitemon completely surrounded. These track kills are adding up. Triple kill for no one, and they got no one for Tundra. They got nobody.
And the craziest part about that is Tundra executed that extremely well too. They get the toss back, they don't overcommit, they force him to use the ult, they reset, they wait, they surge Tiny in, get another toss back, and it's still not enough. They can't kill this Medusa. They don't have any tools working on it. I was going to say, you were highlighting a lot of the items coming Paravision's way. You look at the other side. What do Tundra have to look forward to? It's Sanjin Yasha on Bristle. If he wants to disassemble, I mean, no, actually, he's just going to have the Sanjin Yasha and then a Halberd. There's nothing big coming his way, really.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're kind of relying on finding some sort of big fight where you pipe Crimson that is now going to be complete soon. Well, I say that.
He gets opened up with the avalanche.
Who's ganking who, really?
That is the question. As Satanic comes in with the roar. Remember, he still has the Aegis, Wheel of Wonder. That is a dead Darkseer. Meteor on his freaking head as Whitemon surrounded again.
Another track.
And the Gleipnir. These are, yeah, this is where things get really crazy with the Bounty Hunter. Close to a 10K lead now for Paravision. They've gotten a lot out of this Aegis so far. They're going to get likely another tower, I would assume, here. And in terms of dealing with the Medusa, you have 0 people on Tundra that can actually buy a Diffusal. What do you itemize for this hero other than that? It's BZM. We'll have to use some mana to get away. Diffusal applied. Shield Crash not going to be enough. BZM does have the distance.
What do you buy?
Or do you just ignore him at this point?
I don't know. I think that's probably your best bet, but the problem is Medusa is always just going to stand in your face, right? He's super obnoxious.
Well, they forced him out of their triangle. That's step number 1, I suppose. They will not give him a high five. Very rude. These teams hate each other, by the way, as DM. He gets the Gleipnir onto the Bristleback, but a bigger kill on the BZM is potentially happening right now. The Yules into the Avalanche, not quite enough to save his comrade. They lose BZM in the end. That is a big death for Tundra again. As Satanic's gonna pop the BKB, gonna delete the Tinker off the face of the map. He's gonna TP out the old Nightfall special. Oh, cancels it. All right.
What's
Nobody
the
in the
opposite of a
pit.
Nightfall? Daybreak.
Third.
Goes for the Daybreak play.
That's a good call.
Pango with a Blink Dagger in backpack. You might want to swap that one in. All right, no one realizes he has another item. Trying to connect it. They are actually just chasing this all the way down for real.
Oh, the stun.
Stun again.
Still has Surge, but that's the double stun.
there.
33 Yules up. Another kill, another track.
Damn.
More money for Paravision. 13K lead. And it's not stopping. They're TPing top. They want Crystallis. The Diffusal Blade really good against this hero as well. Tries to TP, but the Rolling Thunder forces him to cancel. And another track kill for Paravision. Man, oh man, this is a clinic. DM, they hit him twice, like, oh, I forgot. You're a Medusa, my bad. Absolutely disgusting play.
Yeah, and they're working on 2 nullifiers now on the side of Paravision to counter out this Tinker and the Darkseer really effectively. They can remove the Crimson Guard, they can remove Surge, Ion Shell, Defense Matrix. Just so much value that they want to bite on both Bounty and on Dusa, and I don't see why not. We were talking about whether they were going to have damage issues. The game is not really in a state where you even need to be concerned about that at all. Like, you need to, at this point, you need to really screw up to get into that position where you would regret not scaling more. So you can just keep controlling the map completely, and all sorts of counterplays from Tundra are borderline impossible if you have 2 nullifiers. I just really don't see
it's
how
not
you
just
can
that.
access
I mean,
fights.
No one can upgrade his Diffusal as well, right? So it feels endless, the options to get rid of this Defense Matrix. BZM going to be spotted by 9 class. The Tormentor, not sure the exact timing. Shouldn't be too far away, though. They got it relatively fast. And Satanic making his way, but the big zip from BZM. Not sure if he's even aware of this. Stun coming out of the Shadow Walk into the Roar, into the death again. And on the other side of the map, Gleipnir gonna set things up for no one to use the Rolling Thunder on top of the Bristleback. Crystallis pretty tanky as the Wheel of Wonder comes out as well. Soxa just can't do anything on this Tiny anymore. Everything being shut down. Crystallis does live, at least for now. Whitemon completely out of mana in the meantime. 33 comes in, wants to get the Vac wall. Has the Crimson Guard available to his disposal as Soxa buys back into the game. Toss back onto no one, but a nice box gonna keep no one safe for the time being. Gets a big crash off. That's a lot of damage mitigation coming his way. Whitemon deleted. No one does follow suit though. That's a trade that Crystallis will take. Crystallis though, kind of left to his own devices. He goes to the high ground, being chased. Knife not gonna hit. Looks like he'll find the distance this time. Tundra gets some sort of a trade here.
Oh, that's a sick blink. Oh my god. Under that pressure, getting that blink.
That was a roar, and that's 33's deck. Okay, miscommunication from Tundra as Soxa is stuck in the trees.
Oh,
He'll blink away.
9 class might just find him.
He'll blink into Bounty Hunter. Oh boy.
Yeah.
And he is, he's a goner as well. Satanic will want to take that for himself. Why not? Double kill for him. 5-0 and 7 for the position 1 Beastmaster. And objective-based gaming for DM. Focusing on the tier 2 now. This will be a 20k lead here in just a moment.
It must be so chill playing Medusa like this. You feel so safe all the time. You're just doing your thing. If the enemy team jumps you, they have to bring like 4 heroes, and your teammates need to be AFK. You're like, hey guys, I'm getting jumped. If anybody, you communicate with them through old-fashioned mail, and they show up on time still.
That's right. Gotta love it.
A simple life.
We're on the doorstep of their base.
BZM, not again.
BZM caught off guard and stun locked. They just have stuns for days.
I mean, this has got to be a lane of Baron.
Oh, absolutely. 50 seconds, no Storm Spirit, no buyback whatsoever. It's 33. He is so tanky, but they still find the damage. Spotlight applied. Those illusions not going to last too long. As Satanic having a 1v1 battle in the meantime. Beater Hammer onto 2, but 33 will find the distance away. But again, a kill on the other side onto Chrysalis. That's your position 1 Bristol.
Yeah, it's just over.
GG's called. Second shellacking, but this time the other way as Paravision force a game 3.
What's going on in this series? Both games like 26, 27 minutes. Just one stomp after the other. Let's hope for a closer game 3 because, I mean, these 2 games, they start out even for a little bit and then one team just crushes 10 minutes straight and doesn't look back. This time around, the Bounty Hunter definitely monumental in building that amount of gold advantage out of thin air, but no, it's not like Tundra are incapable of playing it either. They were running it on Soxa quite a bit some time back, so I wonder for game 3 if that's perhaps the angle you're going to take as Tundra. At this point, they're kind of running the same heroes almost every game. This time, Paravision brought something new to the table, a new role for the Beastmaster, the Pank.
I apologize, everybody.
Well, we're warming up here. Chen, I don't like calling games immediately after the draft, you know what I mean? I think you've got to give both teams credit.
It's called a prediction.
Okay.
It's a gut feeling. You don't need to
my
use logic.
gut feeling is that I like Paravision's draft more this game.
Okay.
And there's a couple of reasons for that, which I will get to in a minute, but first we'll let it sink in.
Uh-oh, Whitemon surrounded. Thunderclap from the Brewmaster. And that is going to be the death of him. 9 class actually gets the first blood, and that is a support Terror Blade.
Now that we let it sink in and Paravision got first blood, they now statistically have a higher chance of winning, so it makes sense.
Very good.
There's a couple of things here. Okay, so first of all, I think Ember is almost completely unanswered. I think that's the single biggest worry I have for Tundra is that no one could just completely take over this game. I think they have to be very careful with the way that they play, in particular their supports. And they will need to find some itemization solution against the Ember, because they have no reliable stun. The only stuns that they have are Echo Stomp, that's very easy to dodge at this level for the Ember, and it's X Mark as a catch that you can also dodge. Nice blinding light.
Coming out, 9 class. He has that first blood, but now he is low HP. The Ion Shell being applied continually, but Satanic from the high ground doing a lot of damage to 33, along with Ducalis not far behind. 9 class taking a beating from Whitemon, but is he going to get to the tower in time? Yes.
This is really awkward.
This is really weird. Ducalis with the knives continuing on to 33. Inside the tree line, blood grenade. They're trying to block him as much as possible. I don't think they're going to get this. In fact, I think 33 might be the one to die. He's going to get a courier kill. What? And then he dies right after. 2 kill advantage for Paravision if you do not count the courier.
I mean, that has to be a really bad start for Tundra, right? Darkseer is not even in the lane. He's going to lose the first 1 or 2 creeps entirely in terms of experience. He died. The Terrorblade has now been involved in 2 kills, so he shows up to lane with half a level already.
It's time to turn him into a position 1, Cinder, and let's flip-flop the positions here.
That's good enough. I'm sure 9 class will be up to the challenge. Okay, so we talked about the Ember. Aside from that, Morphling, a pretty polarizing hero. This is the 3rd game of the tournament it gets played. I find this hero to be more or less exclusively an 18 or a 24 pick. This time it's going to be picked as the very last one. Some good matchups. It's, in theory, quite good against Terrorblade because you have the magic damage component. Against the TA, you hit very hard on each individual attack, so your Manta style can pretty quickly pierce through the refraction. And also, you are one of the heroes that can deal quite well with Ember offensively, but you don't, or rather defensively, you're not too worried about getting killed by him, but you don't really pose much of a threat. I mean, what's happening with the couriers today? This is so strange.
Fox, can you dodge the next knife?
I mean, he could, oh, he took a tower shot. He's dead.
Okay, well, he can't dodge the tower.
Oh my god.
This is a double wave now.
Well, he did his job. This was what he was trying to do.
33 will be very happy for that sacrifice. And Satanic on the tower. So position 1 TA this time around. Let's talk about the Brew, though. Brewmaster kind of picked out of nowhere. What are your thoughts on this hero in this meta?
I think it's situationally very good. I think part of the reason PARIVISION liked it here was they want something to anchor their team fights. So if they can play around the Brewmaster split, that's going to be easy for Ember and it's going to be easy for TA to find targets. It's arguably one of the hardest heroes to kill in all of Dota, so it gives you vision, it gives you that, you know, just an angle to get in. Also, Dispel against Darkseer, very nice. You can remove Surge, you can remove Ion Shells, and also
destroy the illusions.
Yeah, that too,
33,
of course.
speaking of
He's
being
dead
destroyed, they want to give the kill to Satanic. He'll get it.
Take it with a side blade for the style points. And also the Cyclone in this game. I think it's very strong ability actually against Kunkka with how the boat works.
Yeah.
You just, the ghost ship comes out, you start the mitigation, you just Cyclone whoever you want to kill out of the ghost ship, you let it expire, and then they become vulnerable. So, and yeah, so far so good for PARIVISION. They're up 4-0. The laning stage going exceptionally well. And in the top lane, DM will contest Whitemon for the Lotus. This will be quite a long fight. Crystallis is going to join though, so that'll be the end of it. He will yield. But this has not been a good start for the Morph. 8-2 to the 11-4 of Brewmaster.
Yikes.
Constant reflection harassment. Really annoying for Morphling. Of course, we established the hero hits hard, so it also hits itself in the head.
Yeah, both the position 1 and 3 for Tundra struggling in the CS department. It's really just the mid lane that's doing okay. But
yeah, made us a draw so far.
Another courier kill. That's 3 courier kills so far this game. I think Tundra has all of them, if I'm not mistaken. Really have a sight set on that. They might want to try hero kills next.
Yeah.
Get back in this game. BZM.
Yeah. Ducala's just going to be annoying and get the water here as well. Now connecting potentially onto Whitemon with this dart. No.
Whitemon a little too late to help out for the rune. We'll get the bounty though, and it's no one. That Flame Guard, very hard to kill. How's the Ember Kunkka matchup these days?
We've seen it a couple of times this tournament. I feel like it looks relatively even, and then Kunkka pulls slightly ahead at level 5, but as established already, no one has done a pretty good job in the early waves. Which is a very good sign for PARIVISION. Aside from their 4 kills, this is just in my opinion, just an exceptionally rarely good Ember game. Like, it's pretty unusual in this day and age in Dota to play against 0 counters as this hero. It genuinely feels that way. Think about how Storm Spirits sometimes take over games when they're playing into no stuns. Ember kind of fits the same category. You might not have the exact same explosive single target damage, but you have a ton of mobility, a lot of control. And you're really good at split pushing, which is also something that's great against Caudle.
Yeah. So I'm sure now that we're in the lower bracket finals, there's probably a lot of people watching that haven't watched Dota in a while. Can you briefly, and I say briefly, please, explain why Terrorblade is being picked as support? Because, again, this has been historically, until this last year, I want to say, position 1 only throughout Dota's history.
So he has one of the highest base armors in the game, and he hits hard, and he has one of the best level 1 spells in the game in Metamorphosis. It just makes you an extremely powerful trader when you want to trade. And on top of that, Reflection, just a super annoying spell to be constantly harassed by, and it scales. So you're playing a support that effectively scales, and Sunder is a clutch spell that can be a total game changer. There's a lot of upsides, as long as the laning goes well.
Another courier, that's number 4.
So now the game's even.
I don't know about that.
4-4.
And Vizrune for BZM to bottle up. All right, so what kind of presence does 9 class have on the support terribly in terms of going from lane to lane? Is that a strength for the hero?
Not in particular. I don't think there's two good ganking opportunities in this particular game. He's actually going to need to help
Yeah,
up here. Who's gonna
level
get
5 right
by-
now. BZM has his boat at the ready. No primal split yet for our Brewmaster. Torrent will be there, and that's going to be the kill for Whitemon. In fact, as 9
Oh, he hits
taking
hard.
tons of damage. Whitemon with that stapler staples his face, and finally, Tundra get a couple hero kills to go along with their 4 couriers.
Dire's bottom tower.
You could see 9 class trying to fight back, but Elder Titan too strong. So the case that we just made for support terribly, that was a very bad showcase for the new viewers or people who haven't played for a while. Why is Terrorblade good? Go over all the reasons it's good, and then it just instantly dies without doing anything. Well, there you go. Dota in a nutshell.
Paravision get both shrines, so
That has not happened so far this series. It's either been a split or Tundra favored.
yeah.
We'll see how they play from behind on the support experience early on. Soxa killing a 5th courier.
Feels like they're
don't
just
know.
sacrificing the couriers at this point.
This one's going to cost them, though.
Oh yeah, it sure will. Can it get denied by the neutrals? No. And no one will take a little double stack. Always nice to get a stack on the way.
Look at the CS, though. This is the biggest concern of the game.
Satanic is owning.
65 and 23 to the Morphling's 39 and 5. And of course, you can also compare him to the Darkseer, who was laning against 36 and 0. Darkseer pretty bad at denying. So a lot of the lane opponents you face end up out leveling you. TA is
8-minute rune. BZM's gonna get hit by a knife. It's an illusion rune. Whitemon takes it on the top side. Yeah, Tundra feels like, I mean, it's only a 1K net worth lead very early, but it does feel like they are at the
Dire's
disadvantage
bottom
right
tower
now.
is under attack.
We'll see if... Right, the thing about the Darkseer picks from 33, to me at least, it feels slower than the Beastmaster, Sand King types. Obviously, they were banned,
Yeah.
but the playstyle just not as high tempo.
It's kind of ironic that the hero that a lot of teams have been banning against Tundra almost feels like an Achilles heel in this series. We'll see if 33 can do a better job than last game.
Dire's
Last one was rough.
is under attack.
Yep.
This time he's playing with Caudle. It's a different story, of course. You can be pulled around the map as Darkseer. You can push waves. You can still join the team fights simultaneously. It's going to give you mana in lane so you can keep farming. Definitely a different beast.
Whitemon just level 4. Definitely a rough one to start things out for Tundra's supports, losing both of those shrines. But I feel like we've seen it get reciprocated a lot, especially with the 14-minute wisdom, and it ends up not mattering as much. But getting those early levels earlier in the game would be pretty damn valuable. DM, primal split at the ready. Has the Talisman of Evasion. We'll be going for the Radiance as BZM and Whitemon will run into no one. So they have the X. Torrent actually will hit, but we talked about the lack of damage, or the lack of CC, I should say. No one dodging the Echo Stomp at
Killed a courier.
BZM now. Another courier, all right. Focus on the heroes, perhaps. The box onto DePaul actually keeps him alive, and now we're going to see the first primal split of the game. Apply most of the pressure to Whitemon at the moment, as Satanic will clean him up easily. They put BZM into the air. He is surrounded. 33 trying to help out, but not much he can do at this stage of the game. Whip misses, but DM still secures the double kill. And Paravision, I mean, that fight wasn't really close at all. Oh, Soxa. All right. Little Piggy picks up the shield rune. Will it cost him his life? They burn through it pretty damn fast. That's 33 getting harassed by Satanic. It might be more than harassment now because he doesn't have Surge any longer. Disarm for the time being. Into the tree line, vacuum to try to give him some space, but 33 gets deleted as Satanic gets the 9th kill for Paravision at the 10.5-minute mark.
Well, we didn't want 3 Stomp Shannon, but this early game is worrisome for the side of Tundra. It's only a 2K lead. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. But the problem here, once again, is I think Tundra make a mistake even trying to kill no one there. I think that's the worst thing that can happen on the map, is that you expend resources trying to catch and kill Ember when you're incapable of doing it, because you just serve up a counterplay freely on a platter. as you said, it wasn't even really close, right? It wasn't like, okay, you know, you can give them the benefit of the doubt. He was 10% HP. He was never done.
Yeah, Ember dodges one of those stuns, which is relatively easy, I would say.
Yeah.
He just had nothing. Absolutely nothing.
So you're better off playing somewhere else on the map or doing nothing. It's better to farm than trying to gank Ember, I think, for the time being. If you want to kill this guy, you're going to need to itemize for it. Your spell's just not going to cut it at this level. Satanic. Try to catch him with a stomp. Nice sidestep, but they get the X.
They do, and the boat's coming to call us in the area, though. It's going to have the box at the ready. We'll use it. The Torrent is going to bring the box into the air as Satanic, focusing on Whitemon for the time being, is the ult from Mark. That's a beautiful Wheel of Wonder onto 2. Actually takes them out of the fight entirely. And this is all of Tundra coming, and they're doing nothing. There's no damage being applied, really. Satanic is super healthy. He gets brought back into the wall, though, from 33. That is a lot of damage. Stocks are being taken out. Finally, they get the TA. Sticking around too long. Night Class looks to be next on the list. So that's 2 kills for Tundra in this engagement. DM, he's going to continue his onslaught, though.
Yes,
he is very, very powerful. Gets off the primal split. Has the stun onto 33 with the cleave. As the neutrals come in for the stun as well. As 33, one more stun. They have endless amounts, it seems. DM takes it with the Earth Brew. Does have another stun to work with, but he gets crit down. They killed off all the primal splits. And that's 4 dead on Paravision. And Tundra getting a much-needed teamfight win.
Yeah, they simply, like you said, they bring everyone and they use everything, and they just barely make it work in the end. Very surprised they were able to kill off all the Brewmaster splits there. They pull it off.
It felt like Paravision had gotten to the distance that they could just run away and just be happy with that exchange.
Yeah.
But they chose to fight and ended up biting them.
I mean, when you get the primal split off there, I don't think any player in the world would not want to try to take the fight, to be honest. X-Mark, so trying no one again.
Yep, he's got the Remnant, though. Into the gate.
He says, good try, and he leaves. Refuses to elaborate. Whitemon.
Is under attack.
Oh. Echo Stomp will hit, but...
And then he leaves.
Yeah. Echo Stomp into the gate channel. He's gone. Unbelievable play from Whitemon. Actually did matter. The Searing Chains misses there by a fraction of a second.
Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant
Recall from Stock says BZM. They find a box. The ship will come and destroy Ducalis. And net worth-wise, we are close to an even game, which is very good news for Tundra fans and I think Dota fans in general. We don't want to see 3 stomps in a row, that's for sure.
This last 2 minutes for Tundra have been extremely important.
Radiant's middle tower.
Not only just for the sake of, you know, the way it impacts the game, but also for morale. Like, having some sort of successful move to just feel like, all right, well, we're doing something that makes sense. We know, like, it gives you an idea of what your next plays are going to be because now you've tried something that worked out. It can inspire you for more good plays, and it's going to get easier once 33 gets this Orchid. Interesting to see this build. He's running Heart of Battle, so he's not going to get boots, and he will rush Halberd into Orchid on the Darkseer. Very offensive build, but there you go. I mean, we were talking about it. You need something for Ember. So it's going to be 33's job on that position 3 Darkseer to bring a silence to the field. As Kunkka will be buying Radiance just like Brewmaster. Brew will get it faster as Kunkka gets a couple more build-up items as part of his build. The Blade Mail as well as Phase Boots. Brewmaster running Brown Boots into fast Radiance, so DM will have that in about less than a minute.
I mean, after that start, I didn't think we'd be saying this, but Tundra are going to get a free Tormentor.
Yeah.
Great comeback. Of course, they do still have to worry about Satanic with his net worth just leading the charts big time. Soxa will be rewarded, though, with the extra recall.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Yeah, DM's Radiance on the way. Gonna opt for the Shard next as no one. Doesn't have to worry about the lockdown yet. Question is, what will he do when he sees the Orchid?
Yeah.
Which I think having it some sort of an Orchid reveal smoke type situation from Tundra is going to be pretty crucial.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Honestly, I don't even know if I mind buying the cheapest solution in the Yules in this game, specifically because it's got multiple uses. You can break out of the Orchid, but you can also break X-Mark plays. So Might be a nice grab. Good find.
Yep, Wheel of Wonder finds him, and he is going to get destroyed in all likelihood. Although, going to get tanky thanks to that ghost ship. He's a little piggy, but they find him in the end. Paravision, big kill onto BZM.
They might just go straight Rosh with this, or at least try to force some sort of reaction out of Tundra. They have a TA with Amplified Damage Rune. She makes quick work of this. You've got Radiance as well as Brewmaster ult if the fight were to break out. And there you go.
The only thing you have to worry about is that, which is the Echo Stomp. Whitemon to the north. They know he's around here.
And 9 class is just scouting. Sending out the Conjure images. That's another part of this hero support that we didn't really talk about, but the vision. Yeah, another benefit. ET Stomp once again.
Now one more.
Oh, Roshan bashed TA, so the Stomp is actually going to hit.
They should be able to secure this before the next Echo Stomp is back, so for Tundra, nothing to be done. The Aegis will be secured for Satanic. It's BZM already using the Blade Mail to farm, and he is spotted. No one to call us.
They cancel the
Steering
recall.
chains. They have the damage. It's very, very likely. There's nobody even remotely close for Tundra. They surround him. They will end up taking him out. No one gets credit for that. And now they have this Aegis for the next 4.5 minutes. Let's see how they want to apply it.
You don't have a sign.
Brewmaster about
is
to
getting
shard.
pretty farmed on this keeper, I have to say. I mean, look at the farm discrepancy between him and the rest of the supports in the game overall.
Yeah.
He's only 1,000 away from Will-O-Wisp.
Could be a big difference maker. The type of fights that we've seen are relatively controlled within a region. Obviously, the Ember, as we've covered, will be able to move around it quite well, but still, for the most part, get off some good Ignis. And we see from no one he is committing for the Yules. So I really like this choice here over other options. You could have potentially considered a BKB. You could have. Some players sometimes go Sanjay and Yasha in the slot, even though there's an Orchid coming, which I really would have not liked. So we'll see the Yules. I think it's the best choice.
That was a triple TP to try to save that tower.
They didn't.
And they didn't turn it into any kind of a gank situation. Satanic got out of there in time. I'm not
Couple
sure if he's
shards,
shown the Orchid yet on 33, but they do have it.
Yeah, he might not have shown on a wave since he picked it up, but regardless, no one, maybe he saw a couple of components and figured out that the Orchid was on the way, and therefore buys the Yules here. Couple shards for PARIVISION. 9 class picks up the Demon Zeal, and they've also picked up the Aghanim shard on Brewmaster. Extends his ulti by a long mile. It's 26-second duration now.
Radiant are
that Radiance?
scanning.
It's a must-buy.
Dire
for
are
sure.
scanning.
Allows you to
9 class will tank the gank. X is there, gets torrented, no way to sunder. Easy pick off for Tundra.
Honestly, very impressive that Tundra are only 1k down with how this game's gone so far. But like you pointed out, about 2,000 of it is the Caudal. So the cores are trailing by a bit. Let's see, about 1,000 behind on the 2 cores, and then 2,500 on Crystallis against the
Radiant's
TA.
middle tower is under attack.
Your admiral is on board.
And BZM still working on that rating. Still got a ways to go. We could talk a bit about Morphling, even though I can't stand this here because it feels like we've seen it so much until this last couple months.
Yeah, it's not been popular this tournament. Come on now.
No, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm okay to talk about it.
Yeah. All right. Otherwise, you would ignore its existence in the game.
Yes, that's true. It was just like when Terrorblade was picked every single game back in the day as a one, of course. Satanic, ooh, he's going to be baited. Get X'd. Actually does get the illusions. And we'll walk away. Yeah, why Morphling in this game?
I mean, they were last picking a carry, and I think they were looking for a carry that would have a potential good matchup into... So at the time, they knew for a fact that TA was a core, obviously. It was the overall last pick, so they saw the whole roster. So they knew that the lane matchup against Brewmaster was going to be fine. And they probably think it's one of the better carry-to-carry matchups against the Templar Assassin when the Razor was banned. So I don't know if there's very much more depth to it than that they were just looking for a carry that can contest TA in the later portion of the game. And sometimes Morphling has weak laning stages, but against the Brewmaster it should be all right for the most part, which it was. So I guess that's it.
Only a minute on this Aegis, so Paravision Gonna put the pedal to the metal, it seems. Haven't really been able to get too much of a net worth lead by
Dire's
possessing
middle
this.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, they do get the shrine.
Dire's bottom
Tundra seem
tower
well
is
aware of
under
this, so they're
attack.
just not going to come. We'll give it up.
And Satanic's just going to take the tier 2 basically by himself. BZM finally gets that Radiance.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
And
Oh,
with
they're
this
actually gonna
timer
try
on
to
the
age
Aegis,
now.
DM onto the high ground he goes. This is a hard target. He gets orchided before he can get the Primal Split off. The boat's coming along with the Earth Splitter. The box will save him. No, does not get his ult off in time. And with that, the retreat is there from Paravision. Do they have the catch on the Tundra side? Aegis down in 12 seconds. This would be incredible if they can find somebody. Ducalis in the tree line. Oh, not able to find a connection. So only one kill, but it is a really good one in that brew.
It's the first display of the Orchid. Brewmaster does not have a defensive item against it yet. The Ember does with the Yule, but Brew working on Manta will eventually have that solution. But it's a nice find for Tundra and an unexpected play as well, right? You've just given up a tier 2 tower, so Paravision probably feels like, all right, they're letting us have it. A little bit of a mind game to gank after you lose the tower, but that you probably felt like you couldn't fight for, but you get a good moment of opportunity there. Chain.
Oh, kill that courier.
3. He
get
had
baited.
the TP, but
Orchid from 33, but the Yule's wanting to be used on himself. He's going to set up the dagger. 9 class from the other side. And a nice kill for Paravision. Man, they just playing with their food there. 33 getting kited hard. Yeah, with that Heart of Battle facet, that's the one where you get move speed with people being next to you, right?
yeah, it counts all heroes and illusions from your wall, I believe. So both enemies and allies
Radiant
influence
are
it, and that's why you can see he feels like he can bypass boots.
Radiant's
It's become a
top
trend
tower
in
is
Dota
under
in the last
attack.
couple of years. Heroes that have a way of avoiding to buy boots really want to, because then
Yeah.
you get the higher impact items faster.
This is a battle for the Lotuses. BZM attempting to TP out, but the Searing Chains gets him in the end. He's very tanky thanks to that ghost ship, but they have the mobility. They should have the crowd control as well.
Dire's middle
And he will burn to a crisp, so BZM takes a tumble again. Does buy the Veil of Discord before dying, so doesn't lose too much gold. Still, Tundra, in terms of net worth, still keeping this quite even. I think this next Rosh in the next few minutes will probably set the table for how things will go into the late game.
Yeah, not too long until Tormentor. You'd imagine Paravision want to try to claim both once more. It's despite the gold being even, the game flow doesn't quite feel even. Would you agree? It's like it feels like Paravision are the ones setting the terms a little bit more. Tundra are finding gold, but the question is how the teams are feeling in the game right now. If they think if you were to pause right now and ask them how they thought it was going.
Yeah.
A little
Dire's top
survey.
tower is under
Well,
attack.
33, there's a good chance he will pause the game at some point, so we could potentially get slacks on that. Yeah, I don't know. It does feel like Paravision are the ones aggressing more times than not.
Don't give Valve ideas for halftime interviews.
Players will love that.
Just
Boy, oh
pause
boy.
the game, and then each team has to send a representative to talk about the state of the game, but they don't get to see anything about the actual state of the game aside from what they felt themselves.
Yeah.
That would be horrible. Great idea.
Gold for my
They do that in the NBA, believe it or not.
Yeah, well, that's unsurprising. All right, Butterfly. Completed for Crystallis. Great item here. There's no True Strike on the Radiant team for the time being, but TA will be eyeing up the MKB now. Put it in his quick buy. I think Satanic still wants to buy BKB first. He wants to be confident that he can stand in the middle of all the garbage that Tundra have. Ignis, Vacuum, Wall, ET spells, X-Market. It's just a BKB game through and through.
Oh, is this a 5-man gate play?
They want the Tormy.
There's smoke, so the trap... Oh, there is a sentry there, though.
I think Sox just
see
showed
the
on it.
smoke.
The trap there, maybe.
Nobody's shown quite yet. Oh boy, the smokes are gonna pop though. No one gets the big steering chains on the two heroes. The Wheel of Wonder to follow. Looks like the Elder Titan's about to fall to start this fight. The Will-O-Wisp uses well, but actually Whitemon gets an Echo Stomp onto one. They've lost the Ringmaster to start this fight as 9 class gets burnt to a crisp by Crystallis. 33, burning really low, gets healed just at the last moment from Soxa. Will barely live through this engagement. That's 2 supports dead for Paravision and 1 for Tundra.
High ground advantage and all of those Coddle heals plus the staggering of the damage with Ghost Ship did keep them alive. You saw the damage done there on the teamfight recap was basically even, but they couldn't really kill anyone except the ET. And Paravision DMs, Brewmaster split, they all got obliterated except the Earth one almost immediately since teamfight impact was mitigated very quickly. And this would be a nice pickup there for 33, gets the shard. So the Surge now with the slow and the damage.
Yeah, but it will be a trade for Rosh. Although, ET... Okay, not in time. It could have been disgusting, although because he was not close enough to actually do anything about it. So Aegis again for Satanic. As no one's going to run into 33 in the jungle. It gets the Searing Chains off, despite the blink. 33 actually wants to go back in. It's the Orchid at the ready, but there is a Yules like you talked about for no one.
That was actually just a complete fake out there from the Darkseid. He was alone. It was a game of chicken.
It's a 33 classic. Now he will be a
team for a successful move by baiting the enemy team into thinking he has backup bottom, which he does now. And we'll take the tower here with Morphling. Unless Paravision want to do anything about it. They don't have split though. Cliff. I think unless this Brewmaster one illusion now, it's going to expire. Tower for Crystal. 2K lead now for Tundra.
Ooh. Damage room. BZM takes it instead of Crystallis. I guess he was not that close.
All right, what do you think 9 class has in his quick buy on Terrorblade?
9 class?
Give me your best guess.
Manta for some reason.
Armlet.
Oh, yeah.
He's
Wait, does he actually? Does he act? Is it going to be a Dagon?
There's fears from the crowds like, that's
Armlet?
like in my 1K game.
Armlet Shadowblade Dagon? Is that
We'll see. I mean, so the logic here is with Armlet, you can get yourself low over time. You can choose when you want to start burning out, and then you can obviously get a really strong Sunder. And in theory, it's a mega high impact play for a support player because you can almost kill an enemy core instantly by being low. But you got to be really careful because when you're that low, anything scratches you, you just die on the spot and it's self-griefing. So,
yeah, you can get cleaved by Tidebringer.
yeah, cleaved by Tidebringer. Maybe you just run into an Illuminate or something. Or
is he actually going to go for this?
he is already decided.
All right, so if you go Armlet, do you go for the Pub Classic, which is the Shadowblade and then the Dagon? Or is that too much? The triple whammy,
we'll see.
as we
Let's see if he gets there.
Smoke from Paravision and try come from the side here. No one. They have a little vision now on Crystallis. Shiva's is popped. They're going to focus on BZM to start. Searing Chains is there. The boat is coming though. 9 class on the outskirts. Boat's only going to hit the illusions for now. The Primal Split available at the ready. Will-O-Wisp being very annoying to deal with. And he actually takes off the Primal Split so he goes back into his normal hero form. BZM gets bursted. Wheel of Wonder plays. Fox is going to keep one alive as Dukas getting super low. Double kill for Satanic. Crystallis is also going to town on this team. Satanic versus Crystallis down to 1v1. Whitemon.
Aegis advantage.
Very true. 2v1 in that case then.
Yep.
BKB just picked up by Crystallis.
Yeah, he will chase. Oh yeah,
Whitemon getting bursted. Triple kill for Satanic as they continue the onslaught here.
Uh-oh.
Crystallis on the run. Has the waveform in 2 seconds. And the Manta as well. Will Manta waveform to the low ground.
Can they catch him? No.
Probably
got another
not.
waveform again because of the
He's going to get
madness.
slowed and silenced. 9 class with the Thunder, though. Crystallis has to pop the BKB. The Nightfall away. They get the Will-O-Wisp. They force out the fresh BKB on Crystallis. Very interesting fight. The Thunder worked out. He didn't need the Armlet that time.
Yeah, you can also damage yourself a little bit over time with the
Demon Zeal, yeah.
Demon Zeal, but you're also regenning, so it's like a very small window that the self-damage can work to your advantage. But yeah, overall solid fight. It was interesting to see Paravision's approach there by really going all in on the Kunkka to start. Usually teams that Tundra have faced with this mid Kunkka have tried to focused on secondary targets because he's too tanky. But seeing the replay here, so the trap. Blink Thunder, and
The funny thing is, I mean, he was fine here. He didn't really, I mean, obviously, he didn't know exactly, but it was a good move from Paravision, forcing that out.
Yep.
Tundra grouping up again. He still has that armlet in his quick buy. We better see this, or I'm going to be really pissed.
Yeah, let him know.
You cannot bait and switch like that on land.
On land specific.
Yeah, just on land, because then I can look them in the eyes and tell them how disgusting they are to me.
I think 9 class would intimidate you a lot more than the other way around, to be honest.
Think so?
Radiant's top tower
I don't know.
is under attack.
I don't know about that.
Soxa.
Little wisp for farm.
Top tower has fallen.
Soxa stealing a little bit and exiting. Well, this is the longest game we've had in this series, I believe, right? Somehow.
Yeah.
Dire's bottom
And it's
tower
anyone's
is under
game
attack.
still.
Yeah, it's a good one so far.
I'm actually very impressed with Tundra's navigation of the mid game. I thought the Brewmaster was going to be a lot more impactful than this, but every single fight when DM gets the split off, they either force him to exit the split, or at least they kill multiple of the Brewlings really fast. So it's just the Earth one they have to deal with, and that's not that big of a deal.
There it is. All right, let's take a look at our Terrorblade. He's got the armlet coming to him right now. Very cool. Yes.
Immediately
You hear the
activates
cheers.
it. It's time to start taking damage.
A degenerate build for a degenerate crowd in a degenerate country that I am degenerate in, Cinderin. This is going to be hype. Keeping the... Why is he going back? He needs mana still?
Let's go. Wait. Really?
Yeah, I'm not sure whether to cheer or not.
Oh, I guess I'll do what everyone around me is doing. It's probably right.
That's right.
Okay. Oh, he found the ninja gear. That's interesting.
True. So it's a free smoke for him, and he does have the blink, so that's going to bypass the Shadow Blade aspect to this, but the Dagon needs to come later, Cinderin.
All right, let's
remember,
do
his facet also helps with the Sundering.
Let's do your favorite part of this video game, the mathematics.
Okay.
How long does it take him to get low? What's he losing right now? Like 30 HP per second or something?
Now he's going to backpack his drums and wand really quickly. Hitting some neutrals very inefficiently normally, but in this case, efficient. All right.
Okay, might be time to smoke up.
This is so stupid. I love it. This is awesome.
Wait, he toggled. Dude, that's inefficient, man. That's working against yourself.
Oh, he doesn't want to randomly die to like some kobold that somebody duck up. That would be quite embarrassing.
Okay. Well, he's hanging out, hoping somebody's going to show on the mid wave that he can blink Thunder against. Now he's going to be smoked up.
The question is, do they know he has an armlet? Is that on their radar?
Don't think so. This first jump should be a complete surprise.
Yeah, I would hope so, because that is absurd.
DZM.
All right, 9 class.
That's an X-Mark play, though. This is where now you get Yules next on Terrorblade to stop the X-Mark Thunder.
Oh, he's going to go into the base? Soxa, oh, they see him. 9 class ready to pounce. Soxa in the vision of the ward. 9 class, are you going to go for it? He goes in for the Thunder! He just TP's away! What the hell was that? That's an intimidation factor right there. Oh my god, all of that? Just for that?
And the D-ward immediately, of course. Soxa with a quick Ghost Scepter.
That was something else. All right, that is why you need the Dagon, you see.
Fair play to Soxa, though. That was a very quick reaction. If he doesn't immediately get off the locket, you might not be looking at your hero there.
Oh, now they go higher. Now they know that armlet has been purchased by the Terrorblade. You can take full
back
advantage
wall.
of that. The wall. Will-O-Wisp as well, but the box is going to keep Satanic alive. 33 trying to reset, but doesn't have the wall at his disposal anymore, as the Torrent's going to clip no one on the sideline. And Rosh, we don't know the timer quite yet. It looks like a longer one, actually. This might actually break things up. And this will give Tundra time to digest what the fuck they're watching with this armlet. Seriously.
This is not the first time 9 class has done this.
Still.
They'll know.
All right, what does he follow it up with then?
I'm trying to remember. I think that he has done the Dagon before, but Shadowblade, like you mentioned, could be a purchase. And
Really? Even though he has Blink? And smoke, essentially, with ninja gear.
Yeah, maybe with the ninja gear it's not worth it, but without it, I think it's still worth it because you need to be able to traverse the map and feel safe that you're not being watched. Otherwise, you're just killing yourself, right?
Yeah.
That is the shortest TP of all time. He literally TP'd 1400 range. He could have blinked that.
Man, he is out of his mind today.
Guys. All right. Oh, he is actually under a ward now. This is a very unexpected one, probably. But
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
9 class will be blinking away with that armlet.
I wonder how Tundra are going to react to this as well, right? It's kind of going to get to you in the way that you move around the map. You need to be a lot more careful. The threat itself carries value here. Whenever Terribly
Satanic, he gets hexed right off the bat. Inside this Will-O-Wisp, he's getting pretty low, has to pop the BKB and retreat. No one with the Shivas. Again, 33 and company, a little bit out of steam now, need to reset entirely.
Big damage and big heal. All right, back to watching 9 class.
If he had imagine if he had a Zeus on the team. Instant kill. He only has 900. He's not, by the way, since he got this armor, he's really not been farming at all. Not really progressing to the next item, which of course should be Dagon.
It's a good point. When you go this build, every minute that you're not killing someone, you're losing major efficiency if you would have built toward a carry direction, right? If the game is this calm, one of those things where you, afterwards you'd be like, maybe I should have just gone Manta, Scotty, or whatever. It's this morph.
Nine class leading the way in the river. He's very scared. On that low HP. Okay, finally sending an illusion out to do a little bit of farming for him. All right, let's hold off on 9 class and talk about item progression for everybody else. So Satanic, MKB, he could buy it now, but probably saving for buyback at the moment. And they're going to smoke, so now we can go back to 9 class watch. Best thing on TV right now.
The center of attention. Yeah, oh, remember our conversation 30 minutes ago? Why is Terribly a support right now?
Yeah, oh,
BZM. Oh, really hurt him there.
The tidal wave, or the tidal, or the cleave, I should say, not able to find its mark onto the heroes that you couldn't see. Now they're on the high ground.
Tundra are just flat out running around as a group of 5 because they're terrified of getting stunned and killed.
I can't blame them.
BZM has the gem, but that does not protect you if you're watched first. He's going to jump Sunder instantly. Just needs to not blink on top of him and die to Ion. That would be hysterical if that happened, actually. But
Dire's middle tower.
His HP is, it seems to be high enough on average. Not have to worry about it. Okay, we got a stalemate here. I mean, I can't blame them. Winner of this goes to the grand finals, so. Will it be the armlet carrier degenerates or Tundra? BZM steering chain.
Farming.
Roshan is up.
Well, they're kind of not farming right now, guys. This is the wrong time to chance it while they're doing Rosh.
Rosh. Gonna go down pretty soon to Crystalist. Will-O-Wisp is using. Crystalist is really low. Pops the BKB, but he gets the Aegis. He gets the goodies inside. No one might have picked up something on the sideline, but BZM getting gone on the team. Meantime, the 9 class gets destroyed by an Illuminate. Meanwhile, the Primal Split not really doing too much damage, and the rest of Tundra get with that Aegis, and now they're just gonna group up and avoid any more shenanigans from the Paravision side.
DM. He has, okay, he can get out.
Satanic trying to bait them in a bit. DM is gonna go back into brew form. Looks like they might want to fight still. Remnants coming out, there's the buyback on to the Terrorblade. A big Will-O-Wisp on 12. Actually, that's gonna be even a bigger Wheel of Wonder. Crystallis and company able to get out of dodge though. The Will-O-Wisp, excellent placement from Soxa again. Crystallis really low, gets waveform onto the high ground, trying to get forced out, but he's not able to get to the low ground at all. That's life number 1 for the Morphling. Whitemon with an attempted TP, not gonna happen. Can this Morphling get away from all of these members of Paravision? Absolutely not. Waveform, not enough. Double kill for no one. And now the chase is on to BZM. 9 class with that armlet. Absolutely dismantling this Tundra team. They will be able to get a 4th kill onto the Paravision side, maybe in a full team up. As Soxa getting gone on by DM inside of his own base. The Will-O-Wisp used to no effect. Triple kill for no one. A full team wipe. And Tundra, they have 5 buybacks. How many can or will they use?
That Aghanim Scepter for no one pays its weight in gold in that situation. He chased down so many heroes, kept going forever. I believe he had a cheese from the Rosh pit as well. I'm assuming he did expend it.
Oh, they actually? Okay. They get 2 buybacks out of Tundra. They were poking a little bit of the tier 4s, but they will secure this bottom set of racks. BZM. Able to get the connection he wants with that X marks. I believe Paravision will walk away.
I'm not so sure about that. I've got my eyes on 9 class right now.
Yeah, true.
I'm telling you, he's gonna stay here.
Yeah, he's got that ninja gear.
Oh no. They're gonna kill the banner. Oh, don't die to the spirit, 9 class.
That would be embarrassing.
It would also be funny.
Right, waiting on the outskirts.
Dire's
BZM
middle
would be a
tower
decent
is under
target,
dire
and he's
are
going to walk
scanning.
away. He's not feeling too confident. Has 1,500 in the bank now. That can't buy you much.
It was actually a really nice play from Tundra to grab the Rosh there. I think that's a very difficult decision and a play to make, and they got away with the Aegis. The problem is you compromised your position a lot when you started chasing. You could have probably taken the Rosh and called it a day and been happy with it, but it's not obvious in that situation that chasing is a mistake. They end up paying dearly for it. No one had the cheese. He also still has the banner. The only thing Chrysalis had space for in his inventory when he went to the Rosh was the Aegis, so the rest of the goodies were left on the ground. That now means Paravision have those at their disposal. Chrysalis closing in on Nullifier. We'll deal with the box. The panel was talking about that as one of the better counters to late game Ringmaster. Oh, 9 class, not sure why he's picking this up. Don't see any reason why he would want to try to heal himself. He spends all his time trying to kill himself, so I don't think Greater Healing Lotus is particularly useful for him.
Yeah, a little bit counterintuitive for
Might
sure.
be, it'll have, maybe he's gonna run out of mana and
Radiant are scanning.
True.
spamming out the Conjure images.
Just a random Astral Spirit could kill him in a lot of these situations.
Yeah.
Boots of Bearing there for Whitemon. And Crystallis on this Morphling. When does he hit critical mass? Nullifier is next in his quick buy, it seems.
Yet after that, I mean, he's got to get some sort of... Can he keep the Brooch, or does he have to go Daedalus at some point? I'm not sure the damage is really dangerous enough, but at the same time, TA is such a high armor hero that Brooch might just be the better choice, even late game.
Yeah, Satanic really doesn't have that much more room to grow. He's going for the Aghanim Scepter, which he will consume. And after that, it's like Moon Shard. I guess you could have a backpack item for your BKB.
Yeah, refresher maybe.
We're getting to late game scenario now, which is what we wanted. Hey, look at that! He's got Dagon queued up on 9 class.
Oh.
Hell yeah. My boy! Alright, now he knows he can't trust his teammates to finish the job, so the Dagon, that'll do it.
I like the play he made just there. He killed one of the ogres, and then he smoke blinked away from the second ogre.
Yeah,
Very,
really
very fearsome camp. Very dangerous.
I mean,
Know your limits.
Yeah. Keep
Okay, he
the
takes
bold.
one more and he resets.
Yeah, can't touch the ogre.
Nice pull mechanics here. Playing like a warrior in classic World of Warcraft. Make sure you kill one
Dire's
mob at a
middle
time.
tower is
2
under
at once is
attack.
too much.
Damage room
Stay
on
safe, Hub.
Satanic. That is gonna hurt. Tier 2 still up and running though for Tundra. They're gonna group around it for the time being. 9 class still looking for one of those beauty Sunder plays. Haven't really found it yet.
Dire's middle tower
We sure have been hyping this up.
So great.
Once that Dagon comes online, surely.
In the fight at the Rosh pit where Tundra got the Aegis, he did Sunder Kunkka, but he immediately got healed by Caudal, and 9 class just died. So it was relatively uneventful.
Yeah, and that was like, he was on alone there as well. It was like a
Yeah.
1v4 almost.
That's right. I mean, if you want the high impact play, you want to get the Sunder when TA can one-shot the hero you Sunder, right?
Yeah.
Dire are scanning.
The 19K lead for Paravision. Definitely in the driver's seat right now. But I will say it is really hard without a pickoff, or without an Aegis even, to go high ground against the likes of an Elder Titan, a Darkseer,
Yeah.
Boat from Kunkka. They have, I mean, Will-O-Wisp. They actually have incredible high ground defense heroes.
They have a ton of annoying tools that you have to play around. Hex Orchid Blink on Darkseer means he can isolate a target and set up the fight. Like you said, Will-O-Wisp. Always need to navigate the Stomp, need to navigate the boat. It's very annoying, for sure. But once again, I'm going to keep coming back to the fact that no one's hero in this game is just so fundamentally incredible. He's 7-0 and 13, now level 25 talent, and plenty of room to grow still with items. He could get the Wind Waker, he can exchange his Mage Slayer for a bigger item now down the stretch and really become a nuisance with the 2 Sleight of Fist charges. Perhaps some sort of damage.
Radiant are scanning.
Hybrid build could become interesting.
All right, hold on a second. He changed to a sheep stick. Can we get some booze, please? Thank you. God, so disappointed in 9 class right now. Going for a real item, just unforgivable. All right, well, he's only about 800 away from finishing that sheep, so we'll have the Blink Sunder sheep.
Yep.
And hopefully he would have enough damage in that case to finish the job. But like you said, there are some heals to work against.
Yeah, the counter argument is with Dagon, when you blink ult, blink Sunder Dagon someone, they don't even get time to react. The cast times are very short. Sunder is almost instant and Dagon is instant. So realistically speaking, if you have vision advantage, can't you just blink ult Dagon them and kill them? Probably. But in every situation where the Sunder is not a play, this is just a better item.
Yeah.
So it just gives you more utility. It limits your hero a lot less. You're much less of just a one-trick pony now.
If he was 25 Cinder and it took the Sunder talent, then I would disagree, of course.
With the 10-second cooldown?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you
very
have
important.
it all the time. All right.
All right, we can stop looking at him. He doesn't deserve our praise anymore. Going for that sheep stick.
He's TPing back to base.
Yeah. He's likely just going to pick it up and heal.
Oh, he's grabbing a gem.
Maybe he'll sell his armlet. That would be something else. I mean, do you think there's a point? It has not been effective, so let's not get ahead of ourselves. Is there a point where somebody on the Tundra said, all right, we need a Lotus or we need a Lincoln, something to that nature? Or is this not something you need to worry about?
I mean, I think just massive props to them for not getting caught by it, right?
Yeah.
It's so easy for us with the vision of both teams to laugh it off, but honestly, it's really, really hard to not get caught a single time by this from 9 class.
Okay, Vacuum onto the Brewmaster. They have a lot of damage. The Wheel of Wonder is going to completely miss, it looks like, if the Primal Split eventually goes off. They're trying to cleave it down with BZM. The Remnant's in now, as no one redirecting to the other side. That Aghanim Scepter is insane. Gets Fearing Phase onto too high. 9 class tries to go for it, but no! He's just going to get killed instead! No one with the BKB!
We were this got fogged by a tree.
The tree is too strong for 9 class. Really unfortunate. DM kind of in a weird spot. Has the refresher if he really wants to use it, and he will try, but they have the damage. They take out the brew despite the refresher being used, and now that's going to be on cooldown. Tundra showing some signs of life. Taking advantage of that armlet Terrorblade build.
It must be time for the Aetherland next. Oh my god. Yeah, well, who exactly is going to hate you for this 9 class? Who are we talking to right now? Is it your fans, your teammates, or yourself?
That's true.
Oh.
Rosh is up, and the Armlet Terrorblade will not be up for 45 seconds, no buyback.
Mission failed.
DM does have a buyback and the Primal Split, as we saw. The Remnant inside the pit. They're actually going to go on this, actually going to use the Wheel of Wonder. Only applies to one hero as Ducalis getting destroyed. Nullifier from Crystalist, Adaptive Strike to finish the job. Into the pit they go. And surely this should be the goodies for Tundra.
Nice little extra snack there, just getting a free Ducalis kill.
Yeah.
Nullifier being put to good use. The box
Man.
ineffective. And an interesting choice to throw in the wheel there. Does Spotlight not give vision in the pit? I think
It should.
does.
It
There's
should.
some spells and some abilities that don't give vision in the pit that used to, but I think Spotlight does. So maybe you could just throw that one in first and then gone from there. But he wanted to get the surprise of the wheel, was hoping to delay things. Instead, compromised his position. Wisdom Shrine being grabbed by Soxa. It's become less and less important the longer the game goes on, unless they lead to big talents. Elder Titan closing in on level 20 for either the natural order radius or plus 350 Echo Stomp wake damage. Both talents are actually quite strong on that hero. Yeah, that's a long way to go still for level 20 even for
Not so safe
White
harbor, eh?
Well, we might be in for a long one. We'll see.
Well, so far this game has lasted about as long as the rest of the series combined.
Yeah. I'm glad that we are getting a game like this, for sure.
Second nullifier.
Radiant's top tower is
BZM will have that and the refresher shard, so double ghost ship, double nullifier, double BKB hex.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Tundra able to secure the tier 2 tower in the mid lane, which means only one tier 2 for Paravision is still up, and that's in the top.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And he's still got that armlet, we know. He's ready to go. Well, he's not low enough though for that to really be a huge deal.
Radiant's top
Maybe he
tower
should take
has
some damage
fallen.
from that Illuminate. Ask Soxa to oblige the extra damage.
Are scanning.
BZM actually TP'd out as no one wants to start this fight right off the bat. 33 with the BKB already. Primal Split used. And Crystal is kind of isolated down here as BZM and Soxa find no one. Will-O-Wisp used as well, but really not finding any targets, it feels like.
Yes, he caught him.
Dark
They
coming
want
from
to take him
Ducalis from
out.
the south. No one with the BKB. Starts the stand to start things out. As Ducalis nullified, but Satanic focusing on BZM. He's healing up to a high degree. That Ghost Ship doing so much for that damage mitigation. Satanic just feels like he's not doing anything to this hero right now. He's trying to get out, but he gets towards it. He gets killed. Satanic is out. Ducalis is next. 3 dead for Paravision. That's a buyback from Soxa. That's all they've really had to use so far. They still have that Aegis and Cheese at their disposal. Now into the base
Radiant's
they
top
go.
tower is under
No
attack.
Primal Split for DM quite yet, but has that refresher. Is he going to wait out the 70-second cooldown, or will he just pop it now? Satanic has his buyback available, and there's the Rosh's banner. Help keep those creeps alive.
They're going
Oh, they're going to
straight.
go straight. Yeah, absolutely. Force these buybacks. They have 2 of the 3 right now. Will-O-Wisp is used. There's the 2 buybacks coming out. They're going to be able to take out the Brewmaster to start this fight in all likelihood. Trying to get off anything. No! He's dead! Oh, he actually did get it off! What? Unbelievable. 33 trying to run away now. Trying to kite out this Brewmaster ult. There's no one. Also stuck in no man's land. Wheel of Wonder used the whip onto 2 heroes. Crystallis gets used into the air.
It's a dieback on Soxa.
That is not good for Tundra. Means they will try to exit at the moment. And Crystallis, oh, he gets put onto the cliff. Has waveform in 1 second. Still has that second life, of course. This is really awkward for him. We'll try the waveform TP. He's out. Man, how the hell did he get that brew ult up? I thought for sure he was
unreal.
dead.
That
That was
got
like
that off.
picture perfect.
Radiant's top
I think he was on 5%, and then he managed to get Manta into split. Ooh, that looked scary. Oh, you made a good point. Satanic was just wailing away at them in the previous fight, doing no damage. You're going to see the replay here. Oh, oof. 33 with a clutch cheese, otherwise he would have died on the spot too, and this could have gone even worse. Got the reset out. But it's still very, very big for Tundra to force out these buybacks. Satanic's one in particular.
Yeah.
If you were to kill TA again, it's probably game over. He is well aware of that fact, so look at his quick buy.
Oh yeah.
It's time for an all-in. Which item will he replace here? Probably, I mean, I guess you just
Deso.
replace Deso. It's,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy to replace a 14-stack Deso, but what else? I don't think there's anything. Okay,
Oh.
never mind. What did
All
he
right.
replace?
Wait, what was that? There's the Divine.
It wasn't his pike. I think it's time for a replay. I actually forgot what he had. Was it butter?
Let's get a highlight on that. Good thing we do this for a living.
The observers, please spell on the screen with your mouse which item he had. Shake your head. Okay,
Damage rune on Crystallis now.
Actually lost track.
They still have this Aegis for 2 seconds. Will they use?
Oh, he had the Revenant's Brooch.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yep, there's the nod. Yeah, you don't actually know. You're just going to assume I'm right. That's right.
Yeah, I remember. I'd be really good at that picture game. I don't remember the name, so that's already, that's...
Yeah, you're doing great. Here's the replay. Revenant's Brooch in the
Oh
bottom
my
left corner.
goodness, unbelievable highlight. Thank you so much, production, showing how stupid we are.
You in particular.
Yep, true. 9 class.
Big items in the meantime. Refresher picked up for no one, and the Lincolns
Oh.
completed now for Satanic as well. So now for the full bingo, Shannon. Which item did you replace for Lincoln? Take your guess. Come on. What's missing now?
Oh,
This is a true memory test.
Dyers are scanning.
You are right. It is indeed the Desolator that we talked about 30 seconds ago. That he now sold.
I might have dementia. I need to get that checked. The Satanic getting close to level 30.
All right.
And
Good.
we are getting close to the ultimate timeline, Cinderin. as the back of the Cobalt. Okay, very cool stuff. Right. These heroes are now hitting critical mass.
As the dust settles, I believe it is time for all of us to appreciate 9-class Terrorblade.
Oh, God. Yeah.
Follow him around.
This thing has not worked out at all. It has struck in fear in their hearts, though, I suppose.
Yeah.
You have to play
worth
differently.
minus 16,000 gold.
Yeah.
It's a very scary proposition. In all fairness, though, it is extremely high risk, high reward, right? It's the thing that can totally win you a game or just fall flat. And this time around, so far for 9-class, has yet to find that big winning moment. As much as we've been laughing, that's the thing here. With every passing minute, this doesn't get worse. Like, it's just a matter of do you find that opportunity once or not. It's completely binary situation. There's no, I believe there's not, there's one Lincoln's on the side of Tundra. They have one on 33, but aside from that, the Sunder will go through.
The Rat Dota has begun. Range racks taken out.
X-Mark plus Morphling, very fun.
Yes, indeed. BZM, I believe with the shield rune right now, will actually be pretty good against the Sunder. That's a good rune to have.
Yeah, true.
Will be dissipating shortly, though. Satanic now level 30, so has both 25 talents to work with.
Yeah, that's really, really big.
And we won't know about the next Rosh for 30 seconds. And this game is going to get crazy. 57 minutes in the game.
Are there any tier 5s that are truly game-changing? They've obviously
don't
changed.
jinx it, Cinderin.
Oh, we'll get there, I promise. What will be huge? Magic Lamp against Terrorblade, I guess.
I mean, it's HP removal. Does it count?
No, but I'm assuming when you attack after...
Right, that's why you need the
dagger. It
dagger.
depends what procs first.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because it says when your health falls below 20%, you receive the heal. But I guess maybe you can still kill with Sunder plus dagger.
The high ground attempt, no one. Oh, actually going for the racks instead. The X marks play will continue. Melee racks taking a bit of damage from the morph. Mr. Crystallis.
9-class is...
He's nowhere to be seen.
This is interesting. He's expecting someone to X-mark back or teleport back and then get Coddle repulled. Okay. And he wants to go for the kill. But the problem...
Might be 33. Oh, oh my God!
The reaction from 33. Just a little head shake. Like, what are you doing, bro?
Oh my.
Come on!
This is insane.
This is amazing. All right, let's see this replay.
He blinks into death. So that is unreal.
He was trying to blink Hex to remove the Lincolns and then Sunder, but he toggled off Armlet and died to Ion Shell.
You actually called it earlier in the game. He buys back now, by the way, so another buyback down. But I think they've waited long enough for these buybacks to end up being refreshed relatively shortly.
Not like this.
As Rosh belches for all to enjoy, and this is going to be another Rosh for Tundra. And they will get everything inside. By the way, it's still not dropping Ags ever, right?
No.
Is that just part of the patch notes that they just didn't include?
I mean, the fact that it hasn't been fixed yet makes it, I guess it's just intended instinct.
It's
Which
funny.
I agree with this change. I just think it's undocumented that Rosh doesn't drop Ags anymore. I think it was way too good.
Yep.
So I'm a believer in this being the right choice.
Continuing to push this lane. Remember, the bottom lane was taken by Paravision quite a while ago, so they can try to push the envelope here. And the tier 4 is actually, this one looks to be dead shortly. And we are approaching the 60-minute mark for the neutrals.
Broken prod with X-Mark.
Tundra have a lot of map control right now.
DM's going to force them back here.
Okay.
He's going to pop Primal Split and start working on the base.
Got number 1. And of course, the Earth Panda able to do a ton of damage to buildings. Does force them back indeed. And he can always choose which Ruling to spawn to as well. Gets the tower to half HP. Actually can finish this tier 4 if he really wants, doesn't he?
He needs to die to the fountain here. So he gets ported back. I think the thing you were talking about got removed, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You can no longer choose which one you arrive at, so he has to make sure he dies on the Earth one.
All right, 60 minutes. Can we hear it for some tier? You can always choose which Ruling to spawn to as well. Gets the tower to half HP. Actually can finish this tier 4 if he really wants, doesn't he?
He needs to die to the fountain here. So he gets ported back. I think the thing you were talking about got removed, right?
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You can no longer choose which one you arrive at, so he has to make sure he dies on the Earth one.
All right, 60 minutes. Can we hear it for some tier 5 items? Let's go! we can actually finally talk about neutrals. Everyone's favorite subject.
So Stygian Desolator probably for Morphling for better sieging, right? At this point, you're playing against the buildings with X1. So
yeah,
that might be good. Fallen Sky, maybe? Oh, well, I don't know how much we get to
he gets silence. He gets the half HP. Chrysalis gets the waveform out. He's fine. Demon in the meantime pops the BKB. As you can see, BZM and company wanted to go in as the Earthsplitter is going to do a lot of damage here. Deletes Ducal as he can buy back into the game. The Will-O-Wisp, but the Primal Split comes out just in time. Chrysalis getting to the high ground now as Tundra looking to soft reset. Still have the Aegis and Cheese, of course. The Brewlings will give a lot of vision, but this was the second Brew Split. If they can just wait this out, they'll be in a pretty good position. Take out 3 of the 4.
It's 1 tier 4 tower down.
Yeah, the creeps are doing their job. 1 tier 4 down. Chrysalis has to go back. No X on him. So this is a full committal of a defense for the time being.
They have recall.
Very true.
I mean, Tundra's macro in this game, you can't.
Is there actually no tier 5s yet? What are they doing? Get in the jungle!
Sox is working on it. I mean, you need to kill quite a couple camps nowadays, right? It's not a random drop. You need to farm all the mat stones. Takes a while.
And mat stone.
I'll tell you what.
All right, Ducal is going to try to follow suit as well. Feels like everyone and their mother are going to get some nice tier 5 items tonight. That didn't come out right.
Well, sure didn't.
So Aegis, still 2 minutes. And this is really going to come down to the buyback game. We've seen late game scenarios like this. Okay, 2 Books of the Dead. This is all about push.
2 Books of the Dead, so Ducalis and no one both picking it up.
Magic Lamp on Satanic, so for some extra survivability, no one will Nightfall away.
Wow, nobody was even close to him. I guess he was playing that ultra speed.
Just in case. So extra attack range for TA. That's interesting. So not really getting a huge damage injection. Not that she necessarily needs it with the Divine Rapier, but I mean, to be fair, she doesn't really have a crit. It's just MKB, right? So not hitting as hard as you could. Minotaur Horn for DM, so extra BKB to be able to get that ult off, and another Book of the Dead.
For 9 class?
For 9 class. So that's 3 Books of the Dead on the side of Paravision.
Do these still give a lot of gold to kill?
I don't know. I mean, it says it's a Necro book, and nobody knows what a Necro book is because it's not in the game anymore, right? So everything's an unknown, Cinderman.
I think the last version of Necronomicon gave, I want to say 150 gold or 200.
It was quite a
killing
bit.
These high-level units?
Yeah.
Oh, this is good news for 9 class. Now he can farm while being low because the Book of the Dead can do it for him.
So Chrysalis did end up getting the Stygian, by the way, and then he gets the Titanic Enchantment, which is the extra status resist and base damage. That is pretty much the perfect item for a Morphling, I would say.
Flat out the best possible roll here.
2 Magic Lamps on the side of Tundra. Actually make it 3, along with the Minotaur Horn on 33. So a lot of survivability.
When is it you get to re-roll them?
I want to say every 10 minutes. Oh, 6.5. Yeah.
6.5 minutes.
Well, it's 10 minutes after the
every 10 minutes after you complete it?
I think, no, it's 60 minutes it begins, the timers.
Okay, so you can re-roll
70 minutes.
Regardless,
yes.
Got it. Okay.
That's right.
Yeah, sorry, I don't play long games. I tend to just win at 30. So.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
We've seen your play on your stream. All right, come on.
Excuse me?
Smoke now from Tundra as the Aegis is gone. And this is, I mean, Paravision, they're able to do these weird shenanigans with these Primal Split Brewlings.
Needs to. Okay, are they going to try? Yeah, they're trying to save his first split.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the blocks. The blocks.
Not quite there. Soxa, you're very fast. Trying to block him. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. Oh! They get him in the fountain. Unreal play. That is sick. That was absolutely sick.
Oh my god.
DM, all he can do is laugh that off. He does have buyback though, as Satanic melded. Will TP.
I mean, what has happened to Dota? You keep saving the enemy hero so that you can kill it. That's amazing.
That's so good.
It's kind of the ultimate version of blocking the first creep wave for the enemy team so it gets in the tower.
Those mechanics finally helping out in a late game situation.
So they get 150 gold per book killed, by the way. I just checked it there.
Okay,
so
that's good.
That's honestly a lot of gold. There's a lot of books. So keep cleaning these up. There's triple Book of the Dead. Each use of Book of the Dead is a potential 600 gold for the killer.
Yeah. All right, they're going to try to force the buyback here with Satanic and Meld. try to get the double meld off. Searing Chains on.
big damage.
Wheel of Honor there! Crystallis is dead at the beginning of the fight. Has the buyback available though. 33 will pop the BKB along with BZM in the retreat. That's a buyback already on the Morphling as no one trying to apply as much pressure. Crystal is able to TP to the outpost. That might break things up, so they force out a couple buybacks.
That is such a heads-up
Ooh,
play to just
this
sit
game.
there and meld.
It's a dirty, dirty game right
And
here.
wait for the morph. Gets the double meld strike with the meld bash, so he can't react with anything on the morph, and they didn't have an instant save of any kind. Might have been interesting for Crystallis to have a magic lamp there instead of the Deso, but I don't know if the option was there for him. Maybe he'll exchange it at 70 minutes. That will be interesting to see. Have we cast a game where somebody changed their item yet? I don't think we had one.
Yeah, we did in the last tournament.
Okay.
It wasn't like a game-changing one, but yeah. Somebody probably misclicked like pirate pad or something. The thing is garbage now. Absolute utter garbage.
That's a big buyback though. The Morphling.
So in terms of the buyback right now, obviously the Morph doesn't have one. And let's see.
Radiant
I mean,
are
4
scanning.
buybacks available for Paravision. It's just the timer for
Dire are scanning.
the Ringmaster. And 3 buybacks for Tundra right now.
I wonder what Satanic is going to do. Oh, he bought Eon Disc now on Morph. That's funny. So a line
All
of
this
defense.
time, huh?
Yeah. So Satanic is quick buying a Daedalus, and he obviously has the Rapier, so that's how you get the real late game TA is having both these items together. The question is, what's he going to replace? Is it going to be the Pike because he has Boundless on his Magic Lamp, or does he feel like he doesn't need the Lincolns, or is he just going to roll the dice on the MKB? Is the question. I think it's actually a very difficult decision to make here, which item you replace.
Well,
so
yeah, the Hurricane Pike's really nice, but you did get the range, right, from the new
right. So but again, it's more range is more better.
Oh, is that how they say it?
That's right. I don't know. The Pike also has secondary utility, right?
Yeah.
So let's see. It's got it now. Curious, is it going to be the Pike swap out?
It's going to be a backpack item
Oh,
now.
that's next level. Just don't use it.
Yeah, well, it's the BKB when it goes back down.
You would think when you're buying this item that you've already thought about what you were going to replace. Is he going to use BKB and then swap it
his
in?
armlet? Are you kidding me? God almighty, man. What is this game?
All right, I'm assuming. I mean, based on what we've seen so far, I think Satana is going to pop BKB and then swap in Daedalus in the middle of the fight. It's kind of crazy.
It's not that crazy.
Dire's
Swapping
top
BKB
tower
for Daedalus. When have you ever seen that?
All the time.
Okay, yeah, that's right. It's your standard Centaur build. Of course, the only hero you play when Pango's banned.
2 minutes until these neutrals can be recrafted. And we will see if Crystallis wants to do so. And I think we might get to that point. There's a good chance. I mean, at this point, with Tundra not having a couple buybacks, it's just all about the waiting game, right? They don't want to force a fight.
All right, Shannon, I believe it's time. Over under 90 minutes.
90 minutes? I'll say
Under?
Yeah. Feels like they have a lot of base push. It's just one fight goes slightly just one to one favor. Buildings will fall fast.
So I believe the longest game of the tournament was the one last night, right? I think that went 78, was it? Or 74 minutes?
We might beat that.
I think we will beat that.
Rosh, number X. I lost count. Maybe 5?
Yeah, something like that. More than 2, less than 10.
This is where the ET can really, really come out on top.
It's also just, how important is this Rosh even now? I think he might just almost be bait. I guess the refresher can be nice for some of the supports, but the cores can't really slot it in anymore.
It's hard to fit the Aegis in at this point.
Aegis is hard to use, yeah.
I mean, Aegis for a support stun.
All right, here comes the army. Time for Crystallis to get
Army
rich.
of Necro Books.
Oh, they're pushing
Back
pretty
to
hard.
no one, not able to
All right,
really
that's the
find
range
anything.
racks.
Yep, they're going to get the range to start. Melee next.
Oh my god.
These things are going ham right now. Will-O-Wisp used as well. This is just creeps and primal brewlings. They get it. They get the lane of racks. All right, well that's 2 lanes in favor of Paravision.
And in the meantime, they're rushing. This is some sick macro, but
Yep, Satanic actually pops the BKB a little bit prematurely. He actually blinks out because of the 33 pressure. He's going to have to run away with that magic immunity. DN have the primal brew split to work with right now. Does have refresher though. Will likely use it here shortly if they want to continue the fight.
Manta dodge.
Rosh getting pretty low. Yeah, really important Manta dodge there. BZM on the high ground. As it is daytime. Oh, Rosh is going to throw somebody if you're not careful.
Oh.
BZM steals the DM, trying to get away from Rosh. Everyone running away from this menace. In the pit, he gets torrented. Now he's going to get thrown across the river, but he gets the BKB off. Or to use the refresher as well. Chris is really low, trying to run away. Big sleight of fist coming out, though, from no one. Out of mana completely. Satanic finally shows up to the show as BZM getting tickled at this point from a Divine Rapier. Is this fight broken up already? Lane's starting to push in the bot side. Tundra have to be very wary of that. And into the pit, Paravision goes, and they will secure the goodies again.
Okay, hear me out. Is the biggest item in Rosh the banner in this game?
It might be now, yeah.
They've got 2 of them.
It might be.
On Ducalis. There's 1 lane of barracks left. If you somehow get in there with Books of the Dead and with a wave, and you put the banner down, you're
What?
gonna get
Whoa, Divine on BZM.
What year is this?
This is old school Kunkka. I love this. He's got Daedalus, Divine, Satanic, Sheepstick. Going for another Divine in his queue, it seems.
Nothing wrong with a backpack Shiva. It's the par for the course. I guess he'll swap that in when his BKB is used.
This game is delivering. We have an Armlet Terrorblade who sells Armlet because it was garbage somehow. Who could have thought such a thing was possible?
The last level 25 about to come up here, and it is none other than 9 class. So let's see if he's going to take
Another
his
Divine.
Thunder cooldown now.
So Crystallis, this is why the game probably will be ending in the next 10 minutes. Several Divines now.
Yeah. He's holding on to his talent choice.
Sunder cooldown.
There it is.
Okay.
All right. So Sunder CD. Ringmaster just got his 25 for the wheel radius and range. Quite strong.
Yeah, we don't get to see that one very often, as this range racks, again, these won't heal. So that, you can just count it as dead at this point.
I mean, this is definitely a
Only
game where
matter of
mechas don't win you the game.
No, it doesn't, but
Like,
you know.
it's going to be a major nuisance, but the good news for Tundra is they have X-Mark and Recall. So they have so many ways of dealing with waves.
Yeah.
But the pressure is obviously, it's going to make it harder and harder, make no mistake, but it's not a GG Megas at all.
No.
Anymore. Oh, delicious cheese, whoever was hungry there.
Was it cheese or was it a moonshard or something?
I think it was cheese. Does Moonshard have that sound?
Oh no, it was block of cheese.
He was
Block of cheese!
Block of cheese and Satanic, okay.
Satanic, the extra barrier now, just in case. There's no one. Gets nullified. Wheel of Wonder out. Look at Crystallis. HP melt. Has to use the BKB and retreat again as no one wants to apply as much pressure as possible. Forcing out a lot. That's a lot of damage from the Divine Rapiers. The wall not really going to connect on too much. No one. Remnants to the low ground. Looks like he'll be fine. He's going to get out of mana, but 33 with the Hex initiation. The box to save him, though. And 33 will attempt to TP out, but the steering change is there. 9 class looking for it. Crystallis on the run as DM is actually going for the throne. He gets the second tier 4 tower. He's all alone. 1 versus 2 against the Ancients. Pops the BKB. See if he can actually get this. This is going to be really close. He has his ult to work with as well. He's not going to be able to get it off, though. He doesn't get it off.
Wait, how?
He has buyback, though. That's a buyback now onto 33 as well.
Oh my god, I think he was trying to min-max it as hard as possible to get another swing in, and then he didn't get the ult off. I don't think they had a bash, right?
I don't think so. I think he had time to pop.
Yeah, he's sure. Okay.
Another Divine. Okay. BZM going out and wait. Did you just pick it up? No, it's on the way.
Coming. All right,
so double Divine Rapier.
Let's see some big crits.
BZM.
Right.
Feels like the carry now in certain respect if you can get that Tiebringer off.
Ancient on half HP. They still have Glyph on Tundra, which is like the most important cooldown in the entire game aside from buyback at this point.
Yep, and remember, this buyback's available for DM, and he can get to the other side of the map. Yeah. Which will force Tundra back for sure.
So difficult. They're going to keep trying to poke, but top wave is on the way in.
Yeah, they get the tier 3 tower. Crystallis, man, that is a quick kill of the range racks. Still the Rosh's banners and news has a big back wall from 33. Crystallis goes in deep as Satanic on the other side of the wall. Crystallis has to pop the refresher to stay alive. 33 in the meantime, he's taking tons of damage. In the meantime, as Crystallis goes in deep for Satanic, but he's going to stay alive for now. That big echo stomp onto Satanic is extremely low right now. As DM, his Bruling will die. The main one that kills building. Satanic super low in AP. That's a double buyback onto the Tundra side. They already killed off the Darkseer. Is now Soxa on the run.
Sunder.
TP's out, and no one. And be able to get Whitemon in their base as well. So Paravision coming out on top of this fight big time. They get the Rosh's banner, they get a couple buybacks from the Tundra side, and 2 Divine Rapiers on the deck.
all their buybacks. All right, a 35,000 gold swing, ladies and gentlemen. Classic late game situation.
Yeah.
We've all been there. All right, never mind, 45K.
Just feeling like a turbo game all of a sudden.
Oh, first time this patch. Congratulations.
Good job.
He didn't buy them himself, though.
He did not. He picked them
2
up.
rapiers for 9 class.
Yep,
He's earned them.
Yep, to go with his blink and sheep stick, of course, the most fearsome right-click Terrorblade we've seen.
And now
they go
all
all in
that's
here.
left.
There is
it's
no-
a 5-on-4.
Yeah, no darks here. No buyback for him at all. BZM is still 6 slotted as Satanic jumps in onto Chrysalis. He's going to be able to waveform away, though. Finding the retreat, but Ducalis is there with the Wheel of Wonder! It's a huge 1-onto-2! They get the 4-step onto Chrysalis. Shiva's going to be applied, though. He's really slow. Getting up the shift, though. Onto the high ground with his waveform is BZM, though. He is taken out. That's 2 dead now for Tundra. No way to get back into the game. Saksa in a 2v1 situation as Chrysalis has to go back to the base to heal, which means the Ancient will likely be destroyed here. It's the last fortification coming out from Tundra. The GGs come out.